from beautiful Coors Field right here at the foothill of the Rockies in Denver, Colorado. This evening, the Philadelphia Phillies and the Colorado Rockies. Good evening, everybody. On a beautiful night for baseball. I'm Chris Wheeler along with Kent Covey. I think we talked in the pregame show about what a hard place this can be for pitchers. What would it have been like to pitch here for you?
Well, I'll tell you, Wheels, pitching in Coors Field is like pitching in Wrigley Field with the wind blowing out. I mean, it's very similar to that fact, and it scares a lot of pitchers. I personally liked pitching in Wrigley Field when the wind was blowing out because, you know, I was predominantly a ground ball pitcher. If you can control what the hitters do, keep the ball on the ground. Neither of these fields has there ever been a ground ball go all the way out of the ballpark. But, you know, the one thing that if a pitcher is a finesse guy and can move the ball around and keep the ball down in the zone, the one thing you do, the advantage you get is you know what the hitters are trying to do. They're all trying to get the ball in the air because they want to hit the ball out of the ballpark. So you can take advantage of that, pitch a little bit lower than low, and they will usually swing at it.
Well, here are the guys who are going to go out there tonight. A couple of right-handers. Rich Hunter for the Phillies, Kevin Ritz for the Colorado Rockies. We'll be back with the starting lineups right after these messages.
For cars that can benefit from higher octane,
Frank, we're late.
Texaco Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium are formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving. For smooth starts and sure acceleration, just give us 5 tanks, and we think you'll see a difference. A word of advice, though. Maybe you'd better leave the windows rolled up.
Add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
Fly high like a bird up in the sky. When it goes round in circles.
As winter turns into spring, this could be turning into your driveway. Lease a Nissan Altima GXE. No down payment, just $239 a month for 39 months.
When it goes round in circles.
The Altima from Nissan.
Time. You never seem to have enough of it. Gotta go here, gotta be there. So when do you have time to bank? Midnight? Sunday morning? Why not? At Mellon,
Thank you for calling
we offer 24-hour telephone banking services, hundreds of ATMs, full-service offices, plus many Acme Market offices open 7 days a week. Sound convenient? Call 1-800-MELLON-24 and find out how you can bank where you want, when you want. Mellon PSFS.
Pizza Hut, your triple deckeroni pizza. Shh, baby.
Whoa! Wow! What a pizza!
New Pizza Hut Triple Pepperoni Pizza. 90 pepperoni pieces, 6 cheeses, 2 crusts, 1 hellacious taste.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. Hungry? Grab the genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages and have dinner delivered right to your door. By Mellon PSFS, the official bank of the Phillies, featuring full-service evening and 7-day banking. By the Pennsylvania Lottery. Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. By Texaco Clean System 3 gasolines. Add more life to your car. Take it to the star. And by Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield, the health insurance companies you can lean on.
And back here in Denver, Colorado, where they tell us the game time temperature is 78 degrees with the winds from the southwest at 15 miles per hour. The flags here at Coors Field are blowing from left to right, although when you're down there in the field, it kind of feels as if the wind is swirling. So we'll see if, in fact, it has any effect on the ball game tonight. We know the light air will. Here's the Phillies lineup. Lenny Dykstra in center field, Mickey Morandini at second, Mark Whitten, the right fielder, Todd Zeile at third, Benito Santiago catches, Pete Incaviglia in left field, Jim Eisenreich's hobbled with a leg problem, Kevin Jordan another start at first base, Kevin Stocker the shortstop, and the rookie right-hander, 21 years of age, Rich Hunter, is the pitcher.
On the mound this evening for the Colorado Rockies, 6'4", 222-pound right-hander Kevin Ritz. Ritz was the Rockies' winning pitcher for the season opener at the Vet on April 2nd. Following that ball game, his next 2 games he absorbed losses and then finally got his second win of the year this last Friday against the Mets at Shea Stadium. Ironically, both of his wins have been by a score of 5-3. Defensively behind Ritz this evening, Andres Galarraga is at first base. Eric Young has returned from the disabled list to play second. Walt Weiss is the shortstop. Vinny Castilla at third. Ellis Burks is in left field. Larry Walker, who was hit on the leg with a pitch yesterday and had to come out of the ballgame, back in the lineup today. In center field, Dante Bichette in right, and Jeff Reed doing the catching for the Colorado Rockies this evening.
And we're ready to go with Lenny Dykstra leading it off for the Phillies. A dude batting at .344, hitting .419 on the road so far this year. And there are a few players that don't like to come in here and swing a bat, and Lenny loves it when he comes out here to Denver. And the first pitch of the ball game is taken for a strike.
First pitch of the ball game is 7:06. Temperature of game time is 78 degrees. The wind is out of less than 15. Relative humidity 30.
Dykstra, Morandini, and Witten here in the first inning to face the right-hander Kevin Ritz, with papers swirling around and supposed to get windier, even more windy tomorrow. Next pitch misses inside. The umpires tonight, an interesting case, as young Brian Gibbons has the plate. This is only his second major league game as you look at those numbers on Dykstra. There is Brian Gibbons. We'll talk some more about him as we've known him for a long time. Randy Marsh is at first base. Brian Gorman at second base. And Harry Wendelstedt, the crew chief, is at third base. And there is young Brian Gibbons, who has been at AAA for the last couple of years and is one of the fill-in umpires right now when guys go on vacation, with a chance to maybe make it here in the big leagues. Next pitch to Dykstra on the way. It is low. And the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ritz, as Teak mentioned, is 6'4", a 220-pounder. He'll be 31 on June the 8th. Makes his home now in Byesville, Ohio. And he was picked in the expansion draft by the Rockies. Dykstra breaks his bat, rolls one towards second, where Eric Young picks it up, throws him out. And there's one out here in the first inning as Eric Young back in action now. Jason Bates, who'd been playing a lot of second base for them, is out right now with a leg infection.
Ball just off the handle of the bat for Dykstra, saws it right in half. Eric Young has to come in and get the ball over to first base quickly, because Dykstra didn't hit that all that hard when the bat exploded. So the light air sure didn't hold that bat together at all out here.
No, and as you said, the light air will do nothing with a ball on the ground.
No, does not help a ball on the ground. But boy, if it gets in the air, it does a whole lot.
Oh, we'll see that before over. Mickey Morandini's been on base in 17 out of the 19 games that he's played. Mickey and Todd Zeal have started all 19 games thus far. Sinker from Ritz misses down low. Ritz is basically a sinker slider type of pitcher, beating the Phillies on opening day at Veterans Stadium, but he had 7 walks in that game. Threw 107 pitches in 5 innings, but he stuck around long enough to get the win. 3-1 to Morandini, and it's low ball 4. He walked him. So that was Ritz's problem in game 1 at Veterans Stadium this year. In fact, in several games this year, he has had problems with his control.
Yeah, he's had problems with his control, and that is the element that will kill you in this ballpark. We talk so much about the home runs and the balls, how far they fly here, but really what gets you into trouble are the men that get on before those home runs. Those are the extra runs that you could have prevented.
And Mark Witten batting in the 3-hole. Witten batting at .210. Third in the league in walks with 17. He's also been scoring quite a few runs. Morandini with a pretty good lead, does not run. The pitch is off speed, comes in high for ball 1. Mickey with 7 stolen bases up among the league leaders in that category. He and Witten have both been running a lot. In fact, the Phillies have run a lot more this year because of Witten and Morandini at the top of the lineup. Witten line shot left field. It's carrying but drops in front of the left fielder Burks. Now there's a situation where you see a lot in this ballpark. A line drive like that normally caught, but these guys seem to all play real deep.
Well, you see right here, Mark Witten lines the ball into medium left field, but because this ballpark is built at altitude, they had to make the dimensions a little bigger than the normal ballpark, and what that does is the outfielders are playing deeper than normal. Does 2 things. Number 1, the distance from the infielders to the outfielders gets bigger, more room in between them as you see the dimensions of the ballpark. Also, the gaps between the outfielders are wider, so there's much more area to drop base hits in the outfielders. Not just the long balls, but also a good park to hit in, because there's much more area to drop base hits into, because the outfielders are spread out so far and playing so deep.
Todd Zeile batting at .260. Zeile has hit in 8 out of 10. That's .350. And he's hit 2 home runs, knocked in 8 runs on the road. Hit those homers at Olympic Stadium last week. Ritz gets ahead of him with a fastball over for a strike. They're playing him, well, absolutely playing him up the middle. He has a huge hole on the left side. There you see where Walt Weiss, the shortstop, is, and Castilla, the third baseman. And Zeile hits one down the right field line. That's a fair ball, heading towards the wall. Morandini scores. Here comes Witten being waved around. He's going to score, and Todd Zeile has a stand-up double. He's knocked in runs numbers 13 and 14, and here we go. It's 2-0.
Well, Phillies doing what you have to do in this ballpark, which is score runs. Since this ballpark was opened, the two teams combined have averaged almost 14 runs per game, 13.7. This time, Zeile just slashes one to the right field corner. Of course, we said Bichette, shading a little bit toward right center field, had no chance for it. By the time he chases it down, that's well over 360 feet out there. So Witten's able to score all the way from first. Zeile at second. Phillies with just one out and a couple runs in.
That's when Todd Zeile is at his best, too, is when he goes the other way. Here's Santiago, the batter, and Benito takes it low for a ball. Benny has really played well for the Phillies this year. Back in the behind the plate, he and Mike Lieberthal doing a real good job for Jim Fregosi.
Just to put that number in perspective, 13.7 runs combined between the two teams. That means if you want to have just on an average night have a chance to win a ball game here, you have to score 7.
Really?
And that's going to be close.
Santiago to center field and deep. Back goes Walker. He is there, makes the play. Tagging at second base is Todd Zeile, and he'll move over to third as Santiago's retired on the long fly ball to center field. And that'll bring up Pete Incaviglia.
We saw Benito yesterday hit a double in the left center field with only one hand on the bat. This time both hands on, hits it well to center field, but Walker able to go back and make the catch. Every time the ball goes in the air here, you get just a little bit jumpy. You don't know how far it's going to go.
Pete Incaviglia, he was just unbelievable to watch here in batting practice, the home runs he was hitting. And he's hit 400 lifetime against these Colorado Rockies. Swings and misses as that pitch from Ritz comes right down the middle to him. Inky against Ritz is 1 for 5. Phillies only have one hit off Kevin Ritz this year in that 5 innings that he pitched against them, and that was a double by Sid Fernandez. Incaviglia takes a strike call, and it's 0-2. Ritz in his last outing beat the New York Mets 5-3 at Shea Stadium, going 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs. He walked 3 and struck out 1. Comes in low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Phillies with a couple of runs in. They lead 2-0 here in the first inning. A quick trip to Denver this time, a night game, and then back at you tomorrow at 3:05 Philadelphia time with a pregame show at 2:30. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Incaviglia. The on-deck batter is Kevin Jordan, getting another start tonight. This is Pete's 7th start in left field. We mentioned, as you look at Kevin Jordan, we mentioned Eisenreich not playing. He normally would tonight, but he's having a problem with a foot and a quad. Swings and fouls it back. Eisy beat a ball off his foot early in the season. He thinks he favored a little bit and wound up hurting a quad muscle, and he is hobbling a little, and they have just decided to rest him for a while.
Just try to give him a break, hopefully, keep him off of it for a few days. Now, yesterday came in the ballgame, had a pinch hit, was on base, had to run around the bases, but took it very gingerly.
Struck him out looking on the outside corner. Pete Incaviglia's out on strikes. 2 runs in the inning on 2 hits. 2-0 Phils.
When we received our first Consumers Digest Best Buy Award, we were pleased. The second and third, very pleased indeed. The fourth, we were motivated. So during the Dodge Consumers Digest Best Buy celebration, save on this Best Buy. Dodge Neon. It offers more standard horsepower than Cavalier, Escort, and Civic, and with a lower starting price, even before $1,000 cash back or 1.9% financing. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Willard Scott for Days In. You know, one day I'm at the Rattlesnake Roundup in Sharon Springs, Kansas. Hey, nice hat. The next day, I'm at the Pickle Fest in Atkins, Arkansas.
More pickle juice, Willard?
Thanks to Days Inn's over 1,700 locations, I can always count on a great deal and a great room wherever I end up.
The San Francisco Accordion Marathon! Yeah!
Wherever you go, follow the sun to Days Inn.
Hey, all you hard-driving, power-tie, power-lunch business persons, chill out. Warm up with the second of 5 Melon PSFS Business Person Specials. Wednesday, May 15th, when the Phillies play the Giants at 1:05. Call 463-1000 in your power voice.
Phillies with a quick 2 spot here at Coors Field, lead it 2-0 as the Rockies come to bat here in the bottom of the first inning, and they have a power-laden lineup as always. Walt Weiss will lead off. Eric Young just off the disabled list. Then Dante Bichette, Larry Walker, and Andres Galarraga. Ellis Burks playing in left field. Vinny Castilla, the third baseman. Jeff Reed is the catcher. And on the mound, the right-hander Kevin Ritz.
And making his first start at altitude, 21-year-old right-hander Rich Hunter is making his 4th start of the year for the Phillies after getting over the jitters on his opening day start. Wheels. He's pitched 2 pretty good ball games. His last game, he got a no decision in the first one of those 1-0 defeats the Phillies had at the hand of the St. Louis Cardinals, but pitched 7 shutout innings in that ball game. Gave up 5 hits, walked 4, struck out 3.
Well, this will be a real test for him. He's never been here before, so he doesn't know what it's like yet.
Well, these guys are going to get chased around a little bit tonight. Kevin Jordan is at first, Mickey Morandini at second, Kevin Stocker at short, Todd Zeal at third. Incaviglia in left, Dykstra in center, Witten in right, Benito Santiago behind the plate. Get your legs loose, boys. You're going to be chasing some balls.
And Walt Weiss will lead it off. Phillies playing Walt Weiss to pull with Lenny Dykstra way over to right center. Pitches over for a strike. Weiss in his last 11 games batting at .404, and he scored 9 runs. With Eric Young back, they thought he might be dropped out of the leadoff spot. But there's a base hit right out of the chute. Witten's on it quickly, but fumbles it. And there goes Weiss to second. The throw is wide. Probably be scored a double. We will see. But Witten would have had a shot at him, and I don't know that he'd have gone if Witten had caught that cleanly.
Well, Weiss not waiting around. He's been swinging a hot bat in the leadoff position, and that's why Don Baylor decided to leave him there, even though Eric Young is back. Witten bobbles for just a second. Throws wide to second base. Weiss in easily.
They did give him an error. They're calling it a single and an error.
And it's probably right, because you could see right there as Weiss was going around first base, he hesitated and then moved up when he saw Witten bobble the ball. So I agree with that scoring.
Yep, single and an error on Mark Witten. Walt Weiss on at second. And here is Eric Young, who was out at the start of the season with an injury. But he's already collected a couple doubles since coming back. Eric Young, the first batter to ever hit in the major leagues here at the old Mile High Stadium and hit a home run. It's a former Los Angeles Dodger product. Pretty good little player. They had him in the outfield for a while. He bunts. And it's a foul ball. He was bunting for a base hit more than a sacrifice, because you don't play for 1 run normally in this yard.
No, this is little guys try to get on, big guys try to get them in. It's the old Earl Weaver 3-run homer style of baseball you play in this ballpark.
The ultimate 3-run home run style in this ballpark. And it is a gorgeous place. We'll be showing it to you throughout the evening. Todd is out in the stands, and we've got a few little features for you with him later on. That pitch misses inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Eric Young. So I mentioned they thought Weiss might be dropped down, but he's been leading off so effectively that Eric Young is going to bat second for a while. Certainly didn't want to do that with the Bombardiers coming along. So Rich Hunter hits Eric Young, and the Colorado Rockies have 2 on and nobody out.
This appears to be a breaking ball by Hunter that just gets away from him. Just kind of hangs back in there.
I think there's a theory here that with this light air that your curveball does not break as much. You buy that?
Well, so, there's no doubt about that. What makes a curveball curve is the friction of the air against the rotating baseball. Well, here, because the air is so much lighter, meaning, now I'm going to sound like a scientist, the molecules are farther apart, there's not as much resistance, therefore there's not as much break. It's true.
Sounds good to me.
That's why they go farther too, not as much air resistance.
It's always in the delivery. Don't ever forget that. Ball one outside. It sounded good. Dante Bichette, I believe you. Dante Bichette, the batter, batting at .325, tied for 4th in the league with 19 runs batted in. And he has hurt the Phillies, as you see, in the several years that he's been here in Colorado. He was picked in the expansion draft for Milwaukee. Bichette hit 17 home runs in this ballpark last year before he finally hit one on the road, and that came at Veterans Stadium on the 25th of July. And there are those who held this ballpark against him, I think, when they voted for most valuable player last year. Not that Barry Larkin didn't have a great year, but this guy had MVP numbers if anybody did. Strike call, 2-1. Hunter will throw fastball, breaking ball, and changeup. And one thing he does not want to do, as you look at the base runners, Weiss at second and Young at first, is get behind too much in this park, or you will get murdered.
You pay the ultimate price here if you're behind, because then those Rocky hitters can really start freewheeling at the plate.
That pitch misses inside, so he's a pitch away from loading him up for Larry Walker. Dante Bichette leading the league in that category. Runners in scoring position. He has one out there now in the person of Walt Weiss. Bichette hits it to left field. Incaviglia comes in, makes the play. Now, he either got jammed or he jammed himself, but it was a heck of a pitch there by Hunter to get Bichette for the first out.
Well, Hunter had been trying to work on the inside part of the plate against Bichette the whole time. See Santiago pretty much setting down the middle, but the fastball tails in, and it did. It jammed Bichette just a little bit. It's a dangerous area to be in, though. If you don't get it all the way in with those right-handed pull hitters, wow, you can get one of those long ones. But he got it all the way in and got the soft fly ball to left.
See Jim Fregosi looking on. Fregosi has another interest in Hunter all the time, besides him pitching well for his ball club, because his son Jim signed him. Here is Larry Walker. Saw Walker on the news here last night when we got here. You didn't think he'd play the way he was hobbling around. He got hit by a pitch on the knee yesterday at Wrigley on a very cold afternoon, but it evidently just hit his crazy bone. His leg went numb for a while, and then he was fine later on, and obviously okay because he's in the lineup tonight. Hard ground ball to second. Morandini bobbles. He'll just get one. Here you go on grass and dirt. They haven't played on it for a while, and that was a double play ball to Mickey Morandini. Bobbled it, and they only get one out of it. The runners move up, and there are two down.
See the perfect double play ball to Morandini. He just hops up on him at the last second, not able to come up with it cleanly. Once he bobbled it, the timing off for the double play, not able to make the play at second, so you take the out at first. But whatever happened to this inning from this point on, had Morandini been able to handle that ball cleanly, should be erased. Right. That was a double play ball to get you out of the inning, especially Walker, who's running on that banged up leg that he got yesterday.
Yeah, and you don't ever want to give extra outs in this ballpark, because look at these guys they keep bringing along. Here's Galarraga, another power hitter. Andres having another fine season. Pitch to him is low ball one. The only thing Galarraga does that's a negative is he strikes out a lot. He once again tied for third in the league with 22 of them, but he's hit safely in 4 straight, batting .500 at that time, 7 for 14. A native of Venezuela with the nickname El Gran Gato, the big cat, because he's so quick. And he pops that one up foul, and they're going to have a play here. Kevin Jordan off a changeup makes the catch. Rich Hunter made a great pitch, and he got out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, an error, and 2 left. You're 1-2 Phillies.
Time. You never seem to have enough of it. Gotta go here, gotta be there. So when do you have time to bank? Midnight? Sunday morning? Why not? At Mellon,
Thank you for calling.
we offer 24-hour telephone banking services, hundreds of ATMs, full-service offices, plus many Acme Market offices open 7 days a week. Sound convenient? Call 1-800-MELLON-24 and find out how you can bank where you want, when you want. Mellon PSFS.
At the 5th Annual Great American Ford Sales Event, we're saluting great Americans who saved hundreds, even thousands. Like Julie. She's trading in her old Camry for an all-new 96 Taurus. She likes the fact Taurus rated highest in a recent safety test. Now, Julie can drive a 96 Taurus for just $229 a month for 24 months. Or she could choose $600 cash back or $2,900 financing for 48 months. Taurus, a great American value, and that's keeping the competition nervous. Hurry, see your Quality Plus Ford dealer now during the Great American Ford Sales Event.
The Phillies take on the world champion Braves Friday, May 10th at 7:35, Saturday the 11th at 7:05, and Sunday the 12th at 1:35. When women 15 and over get a white canvas tote bag with red pinstripes, compliments of Medford Foods. Then it's Bonds, Williams, and the Giants, Monday and Tuesday, May 13th and 14th at 7:35, and Wednesday the 15th at 1:05. For the second Mellon PSFS Business Person Special, call 463-1000.
Beautiful Coors Field here in Denver. You know, it's so nice to get away from everything in Philadelphia every once in a while, and this is as far away as you can get. Mile High City, clear air. What's this guy? What? We've got the Fanatic here. Fanatic, what is going on? We're in Denver. What are you doing? Oh, he's got an appearance in Deptford, New Jersey. He thinks he's in Deptford. This is Denver. Thin air and everything. Fanatic, I'm sorry, we're in the wrong spot. We got the top of the second, Phils are leading. Let's send it back up to Will.
Well, nobody ever said he was a rocket scientist.
Fanatic.
Boy, he really made a wrong turn, didn't he?
Made a wrong turn and didn't realize it for quite a while.
If he was like us, he didn't get out of the airport for a while last night. Grounded foul. Phillies sat out on the tarmac for about an hour and 45 last night. One of the great things as you look at the Fanatic there was John Vukovic fell asleep for about an hour, huh? Right, Teak?
Yeah.
And when he woke up, he thought we were here.
He woke up and said, where's the bus? It's time to go to the hotel.
Then he looked out the window and saw airplanes on both sides. Boy, they're close. Oh, the Fanatic here. Here he is. Can't get away from him. He had some fun with Dinger, the mascot of the Colorado Rockies prior to the game. Oh, Kevin Jordan gets hit by that pitch. Or did it hit his bat? I think it's a foul ball. It just hit his bat. Kevin was trying to get out of the way of an inside pitch and right off his bat.
Just kind of throws his hands up in front of his face to protect him. Ball well inside. They hit right off the knob of the bat.
Yeah.
Take a look right here a little closer. The knob leads. The ball goes right off the knob of the bat. Jordan very fortunate. That's on that area where you can get your hand pinned against the bat and you break a lot of fingers like that on pitches that far. It's, whoa!
What's going on here? I mean, he looked at his hand. Now, Kevin Jordan, or Rich Hunter, hit Eric Young with a curveball in the first inning, so there's no way none of that's going on.
No intent here, but look at this baby. You talk about high and wide. Holy cow.
That could give you some happy feet up there.
Well, you talk about Rich with a lot of walks. Keep throwing them that wide, you're going to get a whole bunch.
I mean, there's no retaliation involved or any of that nonsense. Jordan swings and fouls it off. It'll be Jordan, Stocker, and Hunter here in the second inning. As we heard, there is Rich Hunter, who adjusted his helmet, and he did a heck of a job in that first inning. After the first two batters got on, he got the thunder out. Pitches outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rich walked a batter in the first inning. Mickey Morandini, who came around to score, along with Mark Whitten on the double by Todd Zeal, and he's 3-2 now on Kevin Jordan. Hard ground ball to short. Weiss got a nasty hop, picks it up, throws him out. That's the first out here in the second inning.
Shortstop, number 19, Kevin Stocker.
Here's Kevin Stocker, who's been a hot hitter and getting on base a lot for the Phillies. 4-12 in his last 6 games, 7 for 17. His average at 208, but he was below 100 for a while. And the first pitch is low for ball 1.
mentioned earlier, Wheels, about Kevin Stocker, the only shortstop in the National League not to have made an error so far. His fielding, of course, was a big question in spring training. I think this road trip is going to be a real test to see if he is indeed over the hump, because most of the Phillies games to this point have been played on turf. You don't get those little tricky hops on turf. The majority of the games on this long road trip are going to be played on grass field. So, if Stocker comes through this trip and is still fielding well, then I think you can say, okay, his confidence is back and he's on top of his defensive game again.
Yeah, we already saw Morandini bobble one, and Mickey, very sure-handed player also. He bobbled that one in the first inning that would have been a double play ball.
On the turf, you just don't get those hops that you have to make the adjustments on.
Stocker hits it to deep center field. Larry Walker going back, still going back. That ball is gone. It hit the top of the wall and went over a center field home run for Kevin Stocker. Unbelievable, to dead center field, and Stocker hits his first of the year, and he takes some teasing about that. They're ready for him over the bench, team.
There you go. Oh, he said Kevin Stocker's bat has come alive. Has it ever? It goes to the long ball straight away center field. Now, even though this is Coors Field and the ball does carry that well, you see Bichette back. But that was 415 feet from home feet. Or excuse me, Larry Walker in center field. Watch this ball, and it's just enough to get there. Now it hits on the yellow line, boink, and just goes over the top. So that was not 416, that was 415 on the button.
Look at him laughing. I mean, a center field home run. You talk about coming in here, get your home run call ready, but you don't get it ready for Stock to hit one to dead center.
Well, you better.
Well, it just did.
He did.
He did it. He was our pregame guest with Todd Callis as Hunter beats one towards short, and Weiss throws him out for the second out. There's Kevin Stocker with a big smile. He's been talking about how he's just trying to have some fun this year. Well, it's getting to be a lot more fun for him right now, and I'm sure Brooke is watching back home and smiling just as wide as hubby Kevin right there. There he goes. He's showing you his guns right there.
Showing those guns off now, yeah. Well, Kevin, I'll tell you what. That's nice that you got one. Keep that line drive stroke, though. That's what's been keeping you in there. Hit those line drives.
Amazing. Welcome to Coors Field. Here's Lenny. Dykstra, his first time up, grounded out to second. He is 0 for 1. Christina Coates of the Philadelphia area wants to say hi to her mom and family back in Yardley, Pennsylvania. A lot of Phillies fans at this ball game tonight. Fly ball right field, high in the air, and a lot of room out there for Dante Bichette, who waits, puts it away, and that'll do it. You're watching Phillies baseball at Sports Channel. 1 run on Kevin Stocker's center field bolt. Phillies lead it 3-0.
It's here, Philadelphia. The only sports magazine show for the die-hard Philly fan, Broad and Pattison. It's the play, the hit, the save that keeps everyone talking. Plus, in-depth coverage of all your favorite teams, brought to you from the heart of Philadelphia's most famous sports intersection, Broad and Pattison. Take a look at the sports news the whole region will be talking about. Come to Broad and Pattison this month exclusively on Sports Channel, the home of your home teams.
Love is in the air, everywhere I look around.
This spring, love isn't only in the air, it's also on the ground. Lease a Nissan Maxima GXE. No down payment, just $299 a month for 38 months.
Love is in the air.
The Maxima from Nissan.
Love is in the air.
The story you're about to hear is true.
It was Saturday. I got up late, drove Kathy to work. Had an urge to buy a lottery ticket on the way back, so I stopped at the Giant Eagle. I bought a ticket, scratched it in the car. Couldn't believe it, $1,000 a week for life. Stuffed it down the front of my shirt. I didn't even trust my pocket. I called Kath from my mom's house.
I won $1,000 a week for life.
Wait, what?
Believe me.
Next time on Really Real Winners, a man from Erie gets rich.
Dream Week, and remember that roster fills up quicker than ever each year. Call 215-938-1200. Join guys like Boa, Lazinski, Cash Allen, and many other Phillies stars at Phillies Dream Week. That's next February in beautiful Clearwater, Florida. 215-938-1200. Talked about Brian Gibbons earlier. His father is Jim Gibbons, who for quite a number of years did Notre Dame basketball with our pal Harry Callis on the Notre Dame Basketball Network. His father, Jim, is a very important member of the Notre Dame. Well, I want to say, what does he do out there? What he does is he helps fundraise. Is what Jim does. He's a fundraiser. They do. High fly ball to right field. Witten didn't see it at first. Now he sees it, drifts back at the wall, and he misses. Ball bounces away, and it's going to be a triple for Ellis Burks or an error on Witten. He didn't see that ball at first, and then he never did really get under control. The ball just landed out there, and we'll see how they score.
Well, when you don't pick the ball up off the bat, you really can, you can find it later, but it's hard figuring out how deep it's going to go. Burks under this ball, elevates it quickly, gets it way up in the air, but Witten doesn't see it right away, and even though now he does see it, he has no idea how far back it's going to go. Burks coming around second. Of course, he sees the ball drop out there, and Mark Witten's still scrambling after it, so he easily goes into third base. Twilight here at Coors Field, and Mark Witten just did not see that ball off the bat.
Castillo, long drive to left field. Lenny Dykstra still going back at the track, hauls it in, a sacrifice fly as Burks scores, and the Rockies are on the board with a run. As that ball took off for Castillo, run batted in number 14 on the year. It's a 3-1 game. Here we go in these games. You know, we mentioned about the wind blowing Teague from left to right, and once Witten lost that and looked back up, I think the wind blew it away from him too, and he never did get near.
Yeah, he never had a range on where that ball was going to come down at. He finally did see it up in the sky, but didn't have any idea where it was at.
Jeff Reed, the catcher. Jayhawk Owen, who's a guy they really like, is at AAA Colorado Springs right now and is about ready to come back. Jorge Brito, a right-handed batter, is their other catcher. So anyway, Jim Gibbons may be watching this game tonight. He was trying to get the coordinates to watch his son work his second major league game behind home plate. And if he's watching it, Brian's doing a real good job. Plus, Whitey's not in here to second guess him all night, which is his biggest break. Over for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike now on Jeff Reed, who's seen duty in the National League with Cincinnati and Montreal. Hard ground ball, base hit to center field. And Reed is on with a 1-out base hit. And that'll bring up Kevin Ritz, and he'll probably be up there to bunt, one of the few times you do give up an out here.
Santiago out to the mound to talk to Hunter very quickly. It's going to be important for Santiago tonight to, it's hard for a young pitcher especially to realize that this is going to happen in the ballpark. You're going to give up 5 or 6 runs even if you pitch good. So you have to just keep your composure about yourself. It's not like your normal situation where you give up 5 or 6 runs means you pitched bad.
Yeah, this is a battle of attrition when you come in here to play. Luckily for the Phillies, it's only 2. Next time they come out here, they got a 4-bagger here.
Well, and this ballpark is the exact reason why Don Baylor carries 12 pitchers on his pitching staff. He carries 7 relief pitchers.
3 left-handers and 4 right-handers. Guy we hadn't seen in the first time around. John Habian now with him, who was with the Cardinals last year. Around the bunt is Ritz, and he bunts it foul first base side. Ritz this year has 2 sacrifices. 1 ball and 1 strike now on Kevin Ritz, the pitcher. Jeff Reed, the catcher, on at first. This is a situation where as an infielder or a pitcher or a catcher, you have to realize that catcher's on at first base, and you could conceivably have a play at second if the ball's bunted a little bit too hard. Around a bunt again. He bunts it hard. Hunter has a play at second. There it was. Nice play by Stocker, who just got spiked by Reed. Hunter had a double play maybe in front of him then, but threw it low to Kevin Stocker, who dug it out. But they did the right thing there, Teak, knowing the catcher's running. Go get him.
Yeah, the ball bunted hard back to the mound where Hunter had a play at second base. If he makes a good throw to second, he rushed it a little bit and threw it into the ground. Stocker had to dig it out. By the time he did, he got stepped on by Jeff Reed coming into second. See right here, Reed on top of the bag and on top of Stocker's foot as he takes that little hop. See, Kevin, right there, the price he had to pay for picking that ball out of the dirt.
That'll teach you to hit a home run. Walt Weiss, the batter, takes the ball. The Phillies are not holding the pitcher Ritz on at first base. Weiss singled and went to second on Witten's error on the same play in the first inning, but did not score. Rockies have a run in here in the second. Phillies lead it 3-1. Fly ball left field. Incaviglia coming on, still coming on, and he makes a diving, tumbling play, and that'll do it in the inning. 1 run for the Rockies on 2 hits, no errors, and Colorado leaves 1. 3-1 Phils.
Less pollution.
More training. More pedaling.
Less pollution.
More sweat. More hills.
Less pollution.
More sore thighs.
Who's reducing air pollutants by over 3 million tons a year and donating natural gas vehicles to the Olympics? Pico Energy, proud member of the American Gas Association's Clean Air Team, official sponsor of the 1996 Olympics.
When we broke our first sales record, we were pleased. The second and third, very pleased indeed. The fourth, we were motivated. So during the Dodge Best Buy celebration, we're pleased to offer this Best Buy, Dodge Intrepid. Standard, it's got more passenger room, power, and equipment than Ford Taurus. And now, with up to $1,500 cash savings, this Best Buy simply can't get any better. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
I just got a promotion and a cellular phone. So my little brother got one too.
Not that I'm competitive.
I got the big calling plan.
I got a local plan. My job's more focused.
At Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile, cellular service isn't one size fits all. From phone features to calling plans, you get services that fit your life.
I also got voicemail.
You did?
Hmm?
I want that.
Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile.
Tote that bag and pop those braids. All women 15 and over receive a canvas carry-all tote bag with red pinstripes, courtesy of Medford Foods. When the Phillies play the world champion Atlanta Braves, Sunday, May 12th at 1:35. Call 463-1000.
The Reverend John Lynch, who is attending the General Conference of the United Methodist Church out here in this beautiful city, would like to say hi to his wife Sharon and girls Katie and Mandy and St. Paul's United Methodist Church family back home in Mountville, Pennsylvania, which is in Lancaster County. There are the Rocky Mountains. This city sits right at the foothills of the Rockies, and you take a walk downtown at lunchtime, you look out there, it looks like the sound of music with the snow all over those mountains. It is really pretty here.
This is the first or the last flat space you get before you get to those mountains.
Ooh, those mountains are big. First pitch to Mickey comes inside. He walked and scored a run in the first inning. It'll be Morandini, Witten, and Zeal in the third inning to face Kevin Ritz. Mickey takes it up high, 2-0. Mickey Morandini has been the Phillies' most solid, dependable player this season. There you see what he's done at home and hit even a little better on the road. And this pitch is low and inside, 3-0 to Morandini. Kevin Ritz coming into the game tied for second in the league in walks with 16 and has walked 1 thus far. Now make it 2, and both times it's Morandini. So Morandini with a leadoff walk for Mark Witten, who singled to left and scored in the first. 3-1 Phillies here in the third inning, the first of just 2 at Coors Field. Phillies then move on to Cincinnati, Florida, and Atlanta before they come home for a nice 9-game homestand. The usual packed house here at Coors Field, sold out again. Move over to first and Morandini back. Mentioned Mickey up among the league leaders in stolen bases, and he is perfect thus far. 7 out of 7. They almost got him that time. Good move by Ritz. Randy Marsh with the call, and Morandini just barely got back.
Morandini, the reason why he is 7 for 7, gets an aggressive lead, gets all the way out there, able to get those fingers on the bag just before Galarraga applies the tag.
And Ritz, very much aware of him over there, moves over again. So Kevin Ritz has shown an excellent move to first base. There he goes. He stumbled a little bit. It was an off-speed pitch, and he's 8 for 8. Mickey picked a perfect pitch to run on. That pitch was slow coming up to home plate, and Jeff Reed had little chance.
Really did. Morandini with a great jump. We talk about, fight for as much lead as you can, and then when you get a good jump on a breaking ball, gives you the extra time to get in there. Perfect throw from Reed. Probably still wouldn't have got Morandini if he'd have thrown it right on the bag.
And the count 1-0 on Mark Whitten. Whitten takes ball 2. Now, in this case, you want to pull a ball and maybe move the runner over. But with a guy like Whitten up there, I think you want to see him pull the ball, and he might hit it out of the ballpark. Yeah, I don't think Fergosi's too crazy about that.
No, I think that had to be Mark. I'm sure that didn't come from the bench.
Oh, no. No, especially by that reaction. Like that. But it's foul. I mean, that's what you want him to do in this ballpark, is to yank it somewhere.
Drive it through the right side, possibly get it airborne.
He was bunting for a base hit and to move the runner, but not a good play necessarily. The good play is what he just did, and that's hack away. 2 balls and 1 strike on him. Reed doesn't handle it. Morandini will make it to third. Good base running by Mickey Morandini as that ball barely got away from the catcher.
Score that a pass ball on Jeff Reed. Morandini takes off immediately as soon as he sees the ball bounce away. Not any hesitation at all. When you're taking that lead off second base, you want to be moving toward third as the ball gets to the plate, so that if it does get away from the catcher, as it did there, you can take off immediately. Morandini read it well.
And as Teague said, a pass ball. Fouled out of play, left side into the upper deck. Great one-handed grab by a fan off to our left in the first row. So the Rockies, of course, will play the infield all the way back. You don't play it up in the 4th inning or the 3rd inning here in this ballpark. And the Phillies have a chance for an easy run here. Whitten takes it low, ball 4. He walks. So 2 walks in the inning by Kevin Ritz, and Todd Zeile, the batter. Zeile with a 2-run double to right field, knocking in 2 runs for the Phillies in the 1st inning. And Frank Funk, who is the pitching coach for Don Baylor this year, makes his way to the mound. Larry Bernarth was a pitching coach here for the first couple years, and he wore out a path to that mound.
Well, the Rockies used more relief pitchers last year than any team in the National League. On a pretty good pace to do that again this year. What Funk is talking about, I'm sure, is the base on balls, as we mentioned earlier, in this ballpark. It's not the home runs particularly that hurt you. It's the free passes and the men that get on errors and mistakes ahead of those home runs that make the big difference.
Frank Funk has been a major league pitching coach with the Giants, Mariners, and Royals. He was at their AAA Colorado Springs team in the Coast League, 93, 94, 95, promoted to the big league job this year. Rockies a double play depth, and Ritz moves over to first and Whitten back in time, well aware of the fact that Whitten might run. Mark also has 7 stolen bases. He's been caught twice. He and Mickey Morandini tied for second. And Whitten gets back in time. Santiago on deck. Phillies leading at 3-1, looking for more here in the 3rd inning. Rockies on a 3-game winning streak as this game begins tonight. They had a real good road trip, 4-1, could have won all 5, lost an extra inning game to the New York Mets on Saturday at Shea. Beat the Cubs yesterday on that day that was absolutely frigid, evidently, at Wrigley Field. Zeile takes it low and outside for ball 1. 42 degrees at game time with a 20-mile-per-hour wind out of the northwest. And they said it was really uncomfortable there at Wrigley. They played 3 games, did the Rockies, at Wrigley, and didn't hit a homer. Zeal takes it high, and he's ahead in the count, 2-0. The Rockies just don't have that happen to them very often. Their longest dry spell for homers is 4 games in June of last year. There's Lance Painter, one of the cast of thousands Teak mentioned they have in the bullpen just in case. There goes Witten. Low with a pitch, the throw. He's out. He's out at second base. Boy, you have to make it in that situation, because you got a chance for a big inning in this ballpark. And Witten ran, and Jeff Reed gunned him down for the 3rd time this year, 1 out.
And a perfect throw by Jeff Reed. We talked before about the necessity to make a good throw. Reed right on the money this time. Eric Young, all he has to do is catch the ball. Mark Witten tags himself out by just sliding into the bag at second. Just a perfect throw from Reed right there to get Young, or get Witten at second.
Brian Gorman with the call, and now they bring the infield in. And the pitch to Zeal is right at the shortstop. Morandini was running on contact, and he's in a rundown. He is going to be tagged out, but moving into second is Zeal. There are 2 outs. Morandini did his job by staying in the rundown, but what appeared to be a promising inning now all of a sudden is not so promising.
Well, the Phillies had the contact play on. Ball hit sharply, a 1-hopper right to Weiss at shortstop. See Weiss with the catch on the infield grass, gets the ball home well in front of Morandini. So Mickey's job now is to stay alive long enough in this rundown that Todd Zeal has time to get to second base. With a man on third and 1 out, the reason why you put the contact play on is even if this happens right now and they get Morandini at the plate, Zeal's still able to get to second base. It still takes a base hit with 2 outs to score a run. Base hit by Benito Santiago here was either going to score Morandini from third or Zeal from second. It was going to take a base hit anyway.
There's Santiago's home and road numbers. So now there are 2 outs with Zeal on at second base. And in the dirt, and a good block by Reed. Benito hit a fly ball to deep center field his first time up. Jeff Reed has spent a lot of time in the dirt in this inning. And Santiago trying to get something out of the inning for the Phillies. There's another pitch that's wide. 2-0. Benito wants home plate umpire Brian Gibbons to take a look at the baseball, and he'll toss a new one out. Pete Incaviglia is the on-deck batter, and I'm sure Benito would love a green light here. We'll see if he gets it. Pete hit a long home run yesterday at Veterans Stadium in that win. And there's third base Larry Boa, third base coach Larry Boa. Ball 4. So that's the 3rd walk of the inning issued so far by Rich. You know, Teak, he did that against the Phillies on opening night in an inning, and the Phillies did not score off him in that inning. That was the inning where Sid Fernandez wound up batting with the bases loaded. So he has walked 3 in this inning, but there's been a caught stealing and an infield out, and Incaviglia bats with 2 outs. He struck out looking in the first, the only strikeout thus far for Ritz. There are the base runners. Way outside with a breaking ball, ball 1. Kevin Jordan is the on-deck batter. The crowd's starting to get a little restless as Ritz has walked 4 here by the 3rd inning. The Phillies only lead it 3-1. Fly ball deep center field. See you later. Long home run Incaviglia. Pete Incaviglia with a bomb to center, and the Phillies get 3 more with 2 outs and lead it 6-1 with their 2nd home run of the ball game. And those walks will kill you.
Just talking about the fact that the runs that or the guys that you put on free ahead of the home runs are the ones that hurt. A couple plays by the Rockies to eliminate a couple of those runs, but Incaviglia, very similar to yesterday, a fastball away, does not try to pull it. Hits it toward right center field. His one yesterday was in dead right field. This one out into the Phillies bullpen out in right center field. Karam's around. So Pete Incaviglia give him 3 RBIs and give the Phillies 3 more runs on the board, make it 6-1.
Mention Inky, a 400 career hitter against Colorado. There's a line drive to right, and that's in for Kevin Jordan. Cut off nicely by Dante Bichette. Gets it back in. Holds Kevin Jordan to a long single. The crowd is getting restless. Don Baylor is on his way out. We're going to have a pitching change. So Kevin Ritz will just go 2 2/3 in this inning. He almost got out of it because of some base running and the contact play and infield out and some things that weren't working for the Phillies too well in this inning. But Incaviglia made him pay, and that's going to do it for him, and the walks hurt him again. So Don Baylor's going to make a pitching change. Might not be the last time in this ball game we'll see a pitching change. 6-1 Phils.
The Phillies take on the world champion Braves Friday, May 10th at 7:35, Saturday the 11th at 7:05, and Sunday the 12th at 1:35. When women 15 and over get a white canvas tote bag with red pinstripes, compliments of Medford Foods. Then it's Bonds, Williams, and the Giants, Monday and Tuesday, May 13th and 14th at 7:35, and Wednesday the 15th at 1:05. For the second Mellon PSFS Business Person Special, call 463-1000.
When we received our first Consumer's Digest Best Buy Award, we were pleased. The second and third, very pleased indeed. The fourth, we were motivated. So during the Dodge Consumer's Digest Best Buy celebration, save on this Best Buy. Dodge Neon. It offers more standard horsepower than Cavalier, Escort, and Civic, and with a lower starting price, even before $1,000 cash back or 1.9% financing. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Business Person Special number 2 on Wednesday, May the 15th at 1:05. Phillies and the San Francisco Giants, midday, midweek, fun in the sun. Another Mellon PSFS Business Person Special. A great excuse to take the afternoon off. Just come on down to the ballpark and just make it a special day. Lots of fun on those Business Person Special, and you'll get to see great players like Matt Williams and Barry Bonds. You can order your tickets by calling 463-1000 or stop by the Mellon PSFS ticket office located at Broad and Chestnut Streets. Wednesday, May the 15th, 1:05, Phillies and the San Francisco Giants. And Teak, you mentioned earlier that they use a lot of pitchers to the Colorado Rockies, especially out of the bullpen. Here comes Lance Painter.
Lance Painter on for the 7th time this season. One of those a start for these Colorado Rockies. No wins, 1 loss, a very high 7.30 earned run average. See right there what Painter has done so far this year. Mentioned Don Baylor with 7 relief pitchers, and there are nights when he will go through all 7 of them, especially when they're playing at home in this ballpark.
Well, one of the good things about their road trip was they had great pitching on their trip, especially with the wind blowing in for 3 days at Wrigley Field. But now they come back to Coors Field tonight and they lose their starter in the 3rd inning.
And a lot of the success that they had on that road trip was because of their starters doing a good job. Not the case tonight with Kevin Ritz.
Here's Kevin Stocker with a center field home run his last time up. Batting right-handed for the first time now against the left-hander Painter. Lance Painter, in 6 lifetime appearances against the Phillies, is 0-1 with an earned run average of 5.11. Tommy Green hit a home run off him one day over at Mile High Stadium. Pitch comes low and inside, ball 2. Phillies with 3 runs in the inning on 2 hits. The big hit, of course, Pete Incaviglia's center field homer for Incaviglia's 2nd home run of the year. There are Stocker's numbers. He has not batted much right-handed, as you see there, just 1 for 6. Phillies don't see a whole lot of left-handed pitching. And Painter misses 3-0. So Stocker's done such a great job of getting on base lately, trying to get on again and get the pitcher out of the way and turn the lineup over as many times as possible in this ballpark. It's important. Strike call as he's taking all the way, 3-1, and the crowd with a little derisive cheer as they've had some trouble throwing strikes in this inning. Kevin Jordan leading off first base. His 4th hit of the year, his first non-extra base hit. And Painter with a move over and Jordan back. Kevin coming into the game with 2 home runs and a double. There's your situation with the Phillies leading 6-1 in the 3rd inning. Stocker a smash off Painter and flipped to second by Eric Young, and that'll do it. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. Pete Incaviglia gives the Phillies a 5-run lead.
I'm a Phillies fan. I have Prism. In fact, I've had Prism for 20 years. I've never missed a game. I love Prism. But I've been unfaithful because now I watch games on Sports Channel, too. What can I do?
Relax. Prism and Sports Channel are the perfect Phillies combination. Together, they give you the best Phillies coverage on cable TV. With Prism and Sports Channel, you got the season covered.
Yeah, I get it. Prism and Sports Channel, they're a team. Like Laurel and Hardy, like Batman and Robin, like Lennon and McCartney, like Romeo and Juliet, like Burns and Allen.
When your car's brakes need repair, simply replacing a part makes no more sense than tuning one key on a piano. The whole system needs to work together. That's why Midas always begins a brake job with a complete system inspection. That way, the job's done right. And that's music to the ears.
Right now, at participating Midas Auto Systems Expert stores, you'll get 25% off brake shoes and pads, guaranteed for as long as you own your car.
Midas Auto Systems Experts. What can we do for you today?
Pizza Hut, your triple deckeroni pizza. Shh, baby.
Whoa! Wow! What a pizza!
New Pizza Hut Triple Deckeroni Pizza. 90 pepperoni pieces, 6 cheeses, 2 crusts, 1 hellacious taste.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. Hungry? Grab the genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages and have dinner delivered right to your door.
Oh, a lot of young fans in attendance here. What a great place to come watch a ball game. Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. Always lots of offense. Can't help it in this place. And there you see yet another sellout here in this gorgeous place. You know, the Rockies kind of snuck up on everybody last year. Now their fans are expecting a little more out of them. They wound up in the playoffs, gave the Braves all they could handle in the division series. Rich Hunter to Eric Young. He hit him with a curveball in the 1st inning. And then he was stranded along with Walt Weiss. Rockies with a run in the 2nd. The Phillies with 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, lead 6-1. There's a hard ground ball. Hit the mound, changed direction. Morandini got it. Nice play by Morandini as that ball kicked off the mound kind of crazily, and he stayed with it, 1 out.
Wow. The fact that the ball hits off the mound actually helps Morandini on this play. Kicks it back a little bit toward the second base side. He retreats and able to get to that ball. I don't think if that ball hits the mound, I think it's up the middle. We've seen a lot of wows the last couple days from the Phillies.
Some wacko stuff happened in this yard, I'll tell you. Here's Bichette. He was a key in the 1st inning by flying out to left with 2 on. A high pop-up behind the plate will go out of play. Bichette got to 3-0 in the 1st inning and then finally wound up on a 3-1 pitch, hit a fly ball to left. And I think that helped Hunter take a deep breath, and he got out of that jam. And you might look back on that later as one of the key parts in the ball game. Should he go on and pitch well here? There's Dante Bichette at home, no surprise. He can't wait to get back here. Larry Walker waits on deck. Inside comes Rich Hunter. Bichette is hitting 5 out of his last 6 games at a .333 clip. Padres had 4 players hit over 30 home runs last year. Bichette being one of them. They call them the Blake Street Bombers because right outside of this ballpark is Blake Street. 21-year-old Rich Hunter. 1-1 on the year, making his 4th major league start. Bichette swings at a breaking ball and fouls it off over the Phillies dugout. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hunter mixing them up with fastballs, curveballs, and changeups.
It looks like initially the game plan from Hunter is to throw the fastball on the inside part of the plate, trying to get these Rocky hitters to think quick on the inside and then use the changeup to get them out.
Comes inside again and misses 3-2.
For a changeup to be effective, you normally would like to have the hitter out in front of it. So if you can make him conscious of the inside part of the plate and make him conscious of being quick, you can use that changeup away and have him lunging out on the front foot.
Appeared to get Galarraga on a changeup in the first inning with a couple men on. Hit that weak pop up to the right side. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Jammed him and he fouls it. You have to give Hunter credit tonight, Teak, on one thing, and that is that he is pitching inside so much, because this place could scare you into wanting to pitch everybody away.
Yeah, it really can. And most of the hitters that hit in these parks, of course, know that most pitchers will try to pitch them away, so they crowd up a little bit closer on the plate. You see how close Bichette is there. He's trying to get out there where he can hit that outside pitch hard.
Hits it to right field. Whitten back, and he has room. Waits, puts it away. Mark Whitten a little happier now that it's dark, I think. He saw that ball easily. The first one went up into that twilight, and he had no clue.
There was a oops.
Here comes Larry Walker. There you see, it was very hard to see a couple innings ago. Now it's much darker overhead. There's some real dark clouds towards right field. As we look out over the Rocky Mountains there in the background. Walker grounded to Morandini his first time up. Larry Walker to right field and deep. Back goes Whitten. It's gone. Larry Walker almost sounded like he got jammed on that one and hits it out of the ballpark for Walker, his 6th of the year, and the Rocks get one back.
Well, if there's a short area in this ballpark, it is right center field at 375. That is a normal dimension in a normal ballpark. Walker really doesn't hit this ball on the barrel of the bat all that well. He gets it down toward the handle a little bit, but he hits it right out at that 375 area. That's, if you're a left-handed hitter in particular, that's the area you want to hit it at, because that's just normal baseball dimensions. Usually in this park, you try to add 20 feet anywhere, but they weren't able to put it out there. The bullpens are out there, and it just stays at a normal 375. So Larry Walker fights one over there for his 6th home run of the season.
And that is a short porch.
Yeah, you don't think of 375 as a short porch, but it is here.
Galarraga takes a strike called. 1 ball and 1 strike on Andres, who popped up foul his first time up. Larry Walker hit a home run against the Phillies in the first inning of the first ball game this year off Sid Fernandez. Comes inside to Galarraga, who gets hit by pitches quite a bit because of that stance of his and the way he goes into balls. Galarraga has been hit by pitches twice this year. 81 times in his career, still behind Don Baylor by a little. 267, Don Baylor, a human dartboard when he played. Don Baylor by far and away the all-time leader in being hit by pitches. There he is. Of course, with that body, he probably didn't feel it that often.
Yeah, he didn't feel it very often. Baylor used to stand right up on top of the plate and just challenge you to pitch him inside.
And inside with a fastball, and Galarraga walks, yeah. And Galarraga, as Galarraga walks, the way they used to play the game, he got hit all those times and probably never charged the mound once.
No, he didn't. Well, I mean, he knew that he was standing up on top of the plate. He knew that he wasn't going to give ground, and he knew that it didn't hurt him when it hit him. So, why get upset? It's the way to get on base. Pete Rose, a lot along the same lines. He used to get hit. In fact, I hit Pete Rose one day, and Pete Rose, as he's going to first base, looked at me and said, "Thank you." Went to first. So I asked him the next day, I said, "What do you mean, thank you?" He says, well, it was 2 strikes and you hit me and I got on.
Right.
That's what I want to do.
See the managerial records of those 2 guys, and Don Baylor was most valuable player in the American League for Jim Fergosi's Angels in 1979. That ball bounces up there. So Jim Fergosi and Don Baylor go back a long way. Here is Ellis Burks, who tripled to right and scored in the 2nd inning. That was the ball that Whitten lost. That walk by Rich Hunter. Coming into the game, Phillies pitchers had not walked a batter in 25 1/3 innings. So that's the first walk in a long time for Phillies pitching. Keeps coming inside. You got to give him credit. I mean, those aren't strikes necessarily, but he's trying to get them off the plate a little bit.
And you can tell by the reaction of the Rocky hitters, the way they're jumping away from those pitches that are not strikes, but they're close to the strike zone. That, you know, they're leaning out over the plate. They want to go out and reach out and hook that outside pitch.
There's Jim Wright, who is the pitching coach now, as Johnny Padres is rehabilitating at home, trying to get feeling a little bit better. I talked to his wife Joni today. Pods was out taking his walk when I called. I wanted to give Pods a bus time because he calls me every day for the bus time.
Just in case he was interested, huh?
Just in case he wanted to show up. But she said he's feeling better.
Was he walking west? I mean, he might have been on his way.
She said he was out doing a power walk. This is hard to believe with Johnny. But he's feeling a lot better, and we hope to get him back soon. There goes the base runner, a swing and a ground ball past Zeal. Stocker with a long throw, and he won't get him. Bounces away from Jordan. And that will allow Galarraga to go to third. So that will probably be Kevin Stocker's first error of the year to allow the runner to go to third. That'll be a base hit for Ellis Burks and an error on Stocker because the runner had stopped at second.
Stocker really extending himself, not able to get his feet underneath him, jumps and throws the ball to first base. Actually, a little bit of the inexperience at first base of Kevin Jordan showing right there. He did not have a play at first anyway on Burks, who runs pretty well. Jordan probably should have just come off the bag and taken the throw, but he tried to stretch and make a swipe catch on it and had the ball bounce away from him.
And that will bring up Vinny Castilla, sacrifice fly, run batted in. So 2 outs, nobody on base, home run, walk, infield single, and the Rockies are still in business. 6-2 Phillies, and that will be an error on Stocker, his first of the season. Outside, he told Todd Callis prior to the game that he was very happy with his defense, but he didn't expect to go the whole year without an error. And as you said, that's a play where Jordan could have helped him.
Could have helped him, or, you know, if Stocker, you know, he didn't really have to make that throw either, having to go that far in the hole, knowing that Burks can get down the line. So probably a mistake made on both ends. Stocker for throwing it and Jordan for not coming up the bag to catch it.
Strike called. Phillies now with 2 errors in the game. Coming into the game is a very good defensive team, leading the league with a .988 fielding percentage. 1 ball and 1 strike on Vinny Castilla, who steps out and asks for time. Galarraga at third and Burks at first with 2 outs. Fastball, base hit right field, scoring Galarraga. Burks stops at second. 6-3 Phillies as the Rockies have another run. Vinny Castilla knocks in his 14th of the year. And Jim Wright will come to the mound now to have a word with Hunter.
Mickey Morandini is shading Castilla up the middle, figuring Castilla going to try the pull the ball. Not able to get to that hard ground ball into right field. Jim Wright, Benito Santiago with Hunter, and just try to keep the young guy calm and under control at this point. Now, this is not your normal park.
No. And the Phillies will be back at their normal park when they have a nice long homestand at the Vet Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The Astros come in. Boy, are they hitting the ball right now. A lot of good players on that club. And then those Atlanta Braves, the world champions, for the weekend. And then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the 13th, 14th, and 15th, with the San Francisco Giants. 463-1000 for your tickets. Jim Wright back in the dugout. And Rich Hunter facing Jeff Reed, who singled to center his first time up. Lance Painter, the pitcher, due to bat next. There's a changeup over for a strike, and Painter is in the on-deck circle. Don Baylor is short an extra man tonight because Jason Bates is in the hospital. There's Painter as they're treating a leg infection with him, and he's not on the disabled list, so he loses a man for this game. Next pitch to Reed is over for a strike. Painter's a guy who was the last out in a playoff game last year against Atlanta. He struck out against Mark Wohlers when Don Baylor ran out of players.
Yeah, and I guess he was the odd man out. He was drawing the short straw to have to hit against Wohlers the way he was throwing that night. He was blowing.
Yeah, that was a mismatch. No balls and 2 strikes now on Reed. And the pitch to him is low. 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. Hard ground ball. He can't get it. It's in the right field. Whitten is going to come up firing, and the throw is high and over everybody. 1 run scored, and into second base now goes Reed, and it's 6-4 on an RBI hit by Jeff Reed. And runners wind up at second and third on the play.
Last 2 hitters, Hunter's been able to get the ball on the ground is where he wants it. Your percentages are much better. Mark Whitten up with a strong throw, but well over Santiago's head. You see there Hunter late getting back to backup home plate. The reason being it was a ground ball through the right side. Hunter's first responsibility is to go over and cover first base on that play. So he had started toward first base and they had the long trip to go to get back behind home plate. Wasn't able to get there in time for the overthrow by Whitten. That allows Reed to move up from first to second, and you have to credit Mark Whitten with another error. So that's the Phillies' 3rd error of the evening. See Toby Borland starting to throw in the Phillies bullpen.
Second error of the inning, as Teague says, 3rd of the game. So the tying run is at second base now, as the Rockies have scored 3 in this inning, and it's 6-4. Welcome to Denver. Changeup misses low. Appeal to third, and Harry Wendelstedt says no swing. Here's Lance Painter, 0 for 2 on the year, a lifetime 175 hitter with no homers and 3 runs batted in. So Painter bats here and will continue to pitch. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. Castilla at third. Reed at second. Pitch to Painter is a strike 2 called. 1-2. 6-5-3 Phillies. 4-7-0 Rockies. We're only in the 3rd. Little looper in the center field. Dykstra can't get it. It's a tie ball game. Lance Painter bloops one into center field, and the Rockies have tied this one up with a 5 spot here in the 3rd inning.
How quickly things can change here at Coors Field. When the inning starts, you're feeling pretty good about yourself. The Phillies up by a score of 6-1, but all of a sudden everything turns around. Now Lance Painter, just a little lob shot. You see him there just flip his bat at the ball, but if you get your bat on the ball, you got a chance to make something happen. Drops it in front of Lenny, and with 2 outs and the runners running, Lenny doesn't have any play except to return it to second. So all of a sudden that 6-1 lead is evaporated. Now it's 6-6.
Start all over again, all with 2 outs. 2 outs and nobody on base, and 5 runs in the inning now for the Rockies. The pitch to Walt Weiss is low, ball 1, as the 9th man of the inning comes to home plate in the person of Weiss. Eric Young grounded out to start the inning. That was on that ball that took the crazy hop off the mound to Morandini. Walt Weiss second in the league last year with 98 walks behind Bonds, so he's very patient up there, and it's 2-0. He has singled and lined out. Weiss with his 3rd at bat already here in the 3rd inning. That's a strike call. 2-1. Phillies led 6-1 coming into this inning, and now it's 6-6. Quick move over there, and back in time is the pitcher Lance Painter. Career RBIs 4 and 5 for him. 3-1.
Jim Fregosi would really like to see Hunter get out of this inning. Even if he's going to remove him from the ball game, he leads off for the Phillies next inning, so you could pinch hit for him and not, use a pitcher. If you bring Borland in now, you probably have to let him hit the lead off the inning because you don't want to burn all your bullpen.
Right, and Fregosi, the Phillies, another team carrying just 5 extra men because they have an extra pitcher on their ball club. Three and 1 to Walt Weiss. Strike 2 called. So a full count. Kevin Jordan will play off Lance Painter, who will be off on the pitch. Ken Griffey Sr., the first base coach for these Colorado Rockies. There he goes, and it's ball 4. He walked him, and a bat around. And now that will be it. Fregosi tried to do just what Teak said, try to get him through this inning so he wouldn't have to burn a pitcher here, but he's going to go get Hunter. So Toby Borland comes on. Rich Hunter gets Coors fieldized for the first time in his career. He finds out what it's like here. He'll take a walk, call to the bullpen. Toby Borland will come on. Hunter leaves, and it's 6-6. There are your totals. Toby Borland on. We'll be back right after this.
You never seem to have enough of it. Gotta go here, gotta be there. So when do you have time to bank? Midnight? Sunday morning? Why not? At Mellon,
Thank you for calling.
we offer 24-hour telephone banking services, hundreds of ATMs, full-service offices, plus many Acme Market offices open 7 days a week. Sound convenient? Call 1-800-MELLON-24 and find out how you can bank where you want, when you want. Mellon PSFS.
Less pollution.
More training. More pedaling.
Less pollution.
More sweat. More hills.
Less pollution.
More sore thighs.
Who's reducing air pollutants by over 3 million tons a year and donating natural gas vehicles to the Olympics? Pico Energy, proud member of the American Gas Association's Clean Air Team, official sponsor of the 1996 Olympics.
Well, it may take a while tonight, but if you want to vote for our star of the game, and you got to be patient when you're in this ballpark, jump on the internet. linksc@aol.com. Jump on the internet and give us your choice for tonight's star of the game, and don't vote too early because it may change as the night goes on.
Rich Hunter, we talked about it earlier that pitchers come into this place and get kind of a glazed look after they leave the game. Their eyes just kind of cloud over and wonder, what was that? Well, he has that look. Toby Borland getting ready to go.
We were talking earlier about this ballpark. Borland, if he is on and has that good hard sinker down in the strike zone, could be very effective here because you just don't hit that many fly balls off of Borland when he's throwing well. So he can kind of negate a little bit of the light air and hopefully get some ground balls in the infield.
Saw the numbers on Toby Borland coming into career game number 5 against these guys. And the first pitch is over for a strike. Borland with a 4.50 career earned run average and no record. Eric Young 0 for 1. Hit by a pitch in the first inning and grounded out in this inning. 10th batter to come to the plate as the Rockies have scored 5 times to tie it, and they have 2 on and 2 out. Swing and a miss at that good breaking ball. 0-2 to Young. So the Phillies, who led 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, and 6-1, are now in a tie game here in the third. Struck him out on a breaking ball. So Toby Borland comes in and gets the job done, but the Rockies with a huge inning. 5 runs on 5 hits, 2 Phillies errors, 2 men left on base. Andy Musser continues this baby with Teak.
For cars that can benefit from higher octane, Texaco Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium were formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving, to give you smooth starts and sure acceleration. Just give us 5 tanks, and we think Power Plus and Power Premium will make quite an impression on you.
Add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
I love this building. It's had an extraordinary life of its own on the boardwalk. From its days as the grandest of the grand hotels of the 20s, to its years of service during World War II, to 1978 when it ushered in a whole new era, my resorts has played center stage. But through all these years, one thing's never changed: outstanding service. That's why every time you visit resorts, you'll find all 3,640 of us just waiting to make you happy.
Tote that bag and bop those braves. All women 15 and over receive a canvas carry-all tote bag with red pinstripes, courtesy of Medford Foods, when the Phillies play the world champion Atlanta Braves, Sunday, May 12th at 1:35. Call 463-1000.
Travel provided by U.S. Air. U.S. Air is proud to announce new daily nonstop service from Philadelphia to Munich, Germany, beginning this coming June.
Well, Philly season tickets come in many forms, from the full season to 13 Sundays and the 16 game plan. And they may be just your ticket to the All-Star game. To find out which season ticket plan guarantees you All-Star game tickets, call the sales office at 463-5000. With season tickets, you get many special advantages, including a free media guide, newsstand discounts, special gifts, and much, much more. Ticket plans come in many packages for many schedules and budgets. Call the Phillies at 463-5000 for more information. Back at Coors Field, as we head to the top of the fourth, we wore Chris Wheeler out with that 5-run outburst by the Colorado Rockies in the bottom of the third, and the replacement announcer Andy Musser is in. Andy?
Yeah, they brought a stretcher in for Wheels.
We had to cart him out of here. We wore him out.
He will return in the 7th inning. Toby Borland getting a rare at bat, his first of the year. Toby, as a major league hitter, went 1 for 5 last year and is 1 for 8 in his career. He does have 2 runs batted in. Problem here is not to exhaust your bullpen just in case you get extra innings. It happened to Don Baylor in the playoffs last year against Atlanta. Had to have a pitcher bat.
In fact, the guy that's on the mound right now, Lance Painter, was that pitcher.
Temptation, of course, is to get a batter up there every time you need some runs. He got a bonus tonight when Painter came through with that 2-run hit. How about Toby takes a swing and a low inside pitch and grounds out to shortstop.
Well, I think the other thing that goes into the equation too, you don't want to use a whole lot of pitchers, but you also, a guy like Borland, if he's on, throws a lot of ground balls, and that's, you know, the one thing that you try to do in this ballpark, keep the ball on the ground so that it doesn't carry all over the place.
Lenny Dykstra broke a bat on a ground ball first time up, flied out to right second time up. After what you've seen tonight, I suppose the news that the Rockies won 2 games at Wrigley Field in 2 days and had 1 extra base hit in each would surprise you. They did not hit a home run at Wrigley Field. The wind was blowing in a gale each day, and they had just 2 extra base hits, both by Young.
Well, Wrigley Field, you can normally figure that when the wind's blowing in, it's cold, and it was when the Rockies were there. Wind coming in off the lake.
Inside, ball 3, 3-0 to Lenny.
It appears to be the game plan on both sides to try to pitch inside as much as possible. A lot of inside pitches to the hitter. It's either that or the hitters are just getting right up on top of the plate.
That's a strike, 3-1.
Of course, that doesn't mean anything with Lenny because he's always up on top of the plate.
Painter with a pitch to make here. He gets it over, 3-2. He had a strange game against the Phillies on May 30th of '93. Painter as a starter retired 12 of the first 13 Phillies he faced, but then he gave up 3 home runs in the 5th inning and lost the ball game. That, of course, was at Mile High Stadium, where the air was just as thin as it is here. Ball 4. Lenny takes a walk. 5th walk handed out by the Rockies tonight. First one issued by Painter. Here's Mickey Morandini. He has 2 of the walks. Mickey also a stolen base and a run scored. Rockies look for a double play here. Painter came in last inning to get the final out, but he is struggling here now.
Morandini in a pretty good situation right now. Galarraga holding Dykstra on at first base. And then, of course, Young has to play over towards second base, being in double play depth. So a very large hole on the right side of that Rocky infield.
Dykstra 3 stolen bases, caught stealing once.
See right there, Galarraga on the bag. Eric Young over towards second, shooting towards second to try to get a double play. That opened up a big gap on the right side of the infield. Rocky pitchers paying a whole lot of attention to Philly base runners tonight. A lot of throws over to first base.
Strike call. And how about that throw by Reed to get Witten back in the second inning, or in the third inning? That was a great throw.
Yeah, right on the money, and it had to be. And it was. Jeff Reed just kind of said, Eric Young, put your glove in front of the bag. I'll drop the ball in it.
Mickey has a whack at the 1-1 pitch and fouls it back. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Morandini. Mickey just turned 30 this week. And news, of course, out that the Yankees are inquiring about him. Phillies certainly don't want to give him up, but might consider it if they get overwhelmed. Do baseball teams overwhelm one another anymore these days?
I don't know. Overwhelmed usually means young players. Nowadays, it used to mean veteran star players when you get overwhelmed. Now it's the young players that you overwhelm somebody with.
Outside of all. That trade did happen. What would be going through Mariano Duncan's mind? Run out of a job by Mickey twice. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
The other thing to consider in that situation too is the fact that that means that Morandini, and it just again proves how valuable he has made himself the last couple of years and how good a player he has become. An all-star last year and very, very solid contributor day in and day out for the Phillies.
Jam job, but it's scooped up at third by Castilla. Out, it's a double play. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. Beautiful double play by the Rockies, and we continue in a 6-6 tie.
Ever fantasize about being a major league owner? Well, we do every week on Fantasy Baseball Weekly. Watch Fantasy Baseball Weekly for the inside information on weekly matchups, injury reports, trends, who's hot, who's not. Arm yourself with the best weapons the majors have to offer. Fantasy Baseball Weekly puts you in the owner's seat. Just watch it.
When you only do sports, you have to do it right. Sports Channel brings you sports the way they're meant to be seen. Everything from your hometown team to great games from across the globe. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's all sports, all the time. And if it's sports, it must be Sports Channel.
The Phillies take on the world champion Braves Friday, May 10th at 7:35, Saturday the 11th at 7:05, and Sunday the 12th at 1:35. When women 15 and over get a white canvas tote bag with red pinstripes, compliments of Medford Foods. Then it's Bonds, Williams, and the Giants, Monday and Tuesday, May 13th and 14th at 7:35, and Wednesday the 15th at 1:05 for the second Mellon PSFS Business Person Special. Call 463-1000.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by your Quality Plus 4 dealers in the all-new Ford Taurus. Recent safety test rated the 96 Taurus safest vehicle on the road. Test drive one today. By Pizza Hut, you'll love the stuff we're made of. And by your Philadelphia Nissan dealer. Nissan, it's time to expect more from a car.
Back here at beautiful Coors Field, it is a beautiful ballpark. It doesn't play like most any other park. It's not necessarily the park's fault, it's the air's fault. And we have a 6-6 tie, and here is Bichette getting hit by a pitch. And he starts out the inning at first base. Second Rocky to get hit tonight. And Jim Fregosi looks like he wants to bury his head.
Just scratching his head. What can you do?
You don't want to put runners on base here. That's the problem.
Bichette coming into that ball. Same right in the posterior. Not a whole lot of damage done except for a runner now on first base for Toby Borland.
And for Larry Walker and maybe Andres Galarraga, these are the guys you don't want swinging the bat with anybody on base if you can help it. Walker homered last time up. Pop up, it's foul, back out of play. Boy, these guys really swing from the heels in this ballpark, don't they?
Well, they drop the back shoulder and just try to get the ball airborne. We were talking earlier about the vastness of the outfield. There's a lot of room out there for balls to drop in, and of course, if you can get it airborne and get a good piece of it, you got a real good chance of getting it out of here.
Inside, gets away from Santiago. Bichette heads to second and makes it. Probably a wild pitch.
See right here, Santiago moves to the outside part of the plate. Borland misses well inside.
I don't know. He might have been crossed up, but
well, it was more location than it was the pitch. He was just sitting on the outside part of the plate, and when it misses on the inside, hard for a catcher to adjust that far. Credit Toby Borland with a wild pitch. Now Santiago goes inside, Borland throws outside.
That could be a lot of trouble. They got to find a way to get together. Larry Walker was hit by a pitch yesterday in the right knee. It was like getting hit in your funny bone, they said. There's a breaking ball for a called strike. He just went numb. Had to be taken out of the ball game, but once he got the feeling back, he was okay, and he's obviously in the lineup tonight.
He hit right below his kneecap. Just kind of numbed his leg from the knee down.
Line drive to right field. That's in for a base hit. They're going to try to score Bichette. He's coming around to the plate, and the Rockies take a 7-6 lead. Walker with another RBI, his second of the ball game.
Jim Fregosi just looks on, not much he can do. Larry Walker just wailing away, lines it into right center field. Because of the depth of the outfielders have to play here, Witten with absolutely no chance to get Bichette at home plate. So Larry Walker aboard and another RBI in his column.
Rockies with their first lead of the night. Andres Galarraga at the plate. Still nobody out on the inning. Remember, Bichette got aboard by being hit by a pitch, so that turned out to be costly, and that's why we had that shot of Fregosi hanging his head when it happened. The big cat has fouled out on walks, scoring once tonight. Santiago having a little trouble hanging on. 1 ball, 1 strike. When you have trouble catching the ball, you always look at your glove, right? See what's wrong with the glove.
Pound it a couple times, reshape it a little bit.
In the air to center. Dykstra closing the ground, makes the call to hold off Witten. And that's the first out of the inning. Staying at first base is Walker. Ellis Burks is coming up, and the Phils haven't gotten him out tonight. Probably should have the first time. It was scored a triple, but the ball probably should have been caught. He singled his second time up. He scored both times he's been on. Ellis Burks now carrying a .394 batting average. There goes the runner. Pitch is a strike. It's a stolen base for Larry Walker. That's Walker's first steal of the year.
Toby Borland just not paying a whole lot of attention to Walker at first base. Steal all the way as you saw Burks fake the bunt. Larry Walker, who doesn't run a lot, and you wouldn't expect him to run today after having been hit on the knee yesterday, but gets into second base.
Borland's pitch is inside.
This ballpark can frustrate you when you're on the mound and all of a sudden you're not paying attention at all to what's going on with the base runners, and I think that's what happened to Borland right there. Just forgot about Walker over at first base.
Putting another Rocky in scoring position. They have their first lead at 7-6 Colorado. Toby misses low. It's 2 balls and 1 strike on Ellis Burks. Pretty quality lineup that these Rockies run out there when you can bat a Vinny Castilla in the 7-hole. Guy who hit 30 homers last year. You're doing a heck of a job stacking your lineup. Off-speed pitch fools Burks. 2-2. Toby Borland on and long relief as Phil's starter Rich Hunter did not get out of the 3rd inning despite getting the first 2 batters in the inning. Six consecutive batters reached after he'd gotten the first 2 out. Make it 7. 7 straight batters reached. Just had a recount.
Recall vote.
Yep. Swing and a miss. Burke strikes out. Borland with his 2nd strikeout. 2 outs in the inning.
Borland's been using the slider on Burks, uses it again down and out of the strike zone. All these Rocky hitters trying to look for something that they can get up in the air. That slider out of the strike zone, if you can get them to swing at it. And Burks is not the most disciplined of hitters. It's a good pitch by Borland.
Vinny Castilla has 2 trips to the plate tonight, RBIs in each. Got 1 run home on a sacrifice fly, single in another one. After being held off the board in the opening inning, the Rockies have now scored in 3 consecutive innings. How about Minnesota today? 24 runs for the Twins. They beat Detroit 24-11. The Twins scored in 8 of the 9 innings that they came to the plate. Castilla's become quite a good two-way player. You saw that double play he started a while back. It's pulled foul. Cracked his bat. Vinny's going to need a new stick.
Talking earlier about how much of an advantage it is if you can get outs on the ground in this ballpark because of the fact that the light air and the way the ball carries and how far the outfielders are spread out. So far the Rockies, only 3 of the outs to this point have been made on the ground. All the rest of the outs either strikeouts or fly balls. And that's this club is built to play in this ballpark. You got the hitters that hit the ball in the air.
And if you were the GM here, you'd do just the same thing that Bob Gebhardt has done.
Exactly.
Grounded foul. That's why I mentioned earlier that they didn't hit a homer in Wrigley Field over the last 2 ball games, but we put the asterisk on that though because the hawk was flying in.
Flying in hard. They were fighting some headwinds in Wrigley.
You see the note in the paper today that the famed Torco sign out there in right field is no longer there?
I saw that.
That's going to be strange.
It's a sad moment.
Really? That's been there forever. Way outside with a breaking ball, and now we have a full count on Castilla. Toby ponders the pitch here to try to get Vinny Castilla. Rockies lead 7-6. Walked him. So Castilla reaches. First walk for Toby, third for the Phillies tonight. And Jeff Reed's got a perfect game working. A pair of singles, knocked in a run, scored a run. 2 on with 2 out for the Rockies.
Toby tried to do the same thing to Castilla they did to Burks with 2 strikes, going with the breaking ball out of the zone, but Castilla disciplined enough to stay off of it.
Now here's Jeff Reed. They got him to be a backup catcher, and of course with Jayhawk Owens hurt, he's doing the bulk of the duty these days. He'd been primarily a backup and mostly a pinch hitter with the San Francisco Giants the last couple of years. They say he's having to ice his legs every day by being out there so much.
Yeah, he's been playing a lot more than he's used to playing, and more than Don Baylor would really like to have him playing. Ice the legs, you also ice the ankles. You see the shin guard that he wears right there. The reason why he wears it is just that reason right there. He fouls a lot of balls off his leg.
Well, he's used to wearing a shin guard anyway.
Just a
slightly smaller one. Yeah, I'm going to say. Missed with a breaking ball.
Mentioned Don Baylor really would like to play Reed a little less, and probably will rather soon. Jayhawk Owens on a rehab assignment at Colorado Springs, just about ready to come back any day now. So Colorado will get their regular everyday catcher back shortly, maybe even as early as tomorrow.
Beautiful pitch. And Reed takes it for strike 2. 1-2 the count on Jeff Reed. Long relief for Toby Borland, a tough spot to be in. Two and 2/3 innings for Hunter, the shortest outing by a Phil starter this year. Fly ball, but the park will hold this one. Dykstra's holding off Witten. Makes the catch for the out. Rockies take the lead in the inning. They get a run on just 1 hit and leave 2 men on base. It is 7-6 Colorado.
It's time for another Great American Ford sales event update.
I can't believe they're doing it again.
Now you can get up to $1,000 cash back on Ford Escort. Use the $1,000 as your down payment. Escort is priced hundreds less than Neon.
They're not doing it again. They're doing it again.
Drive Ford Ranger for just $179 a month for 24 months, or take your pick, 600 cash back or 4.8% financing. The competition is getting pretty worried. Your Quality Plus Ford dealer's first big spring sales event. Save on your new Ford today.
I just got a promotion and a cellular phone. My little brother got one too.
Not that I'm competitive.
I got the big calling plan.
I got a local plan. My job's more focused.
At Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile, cellular service isn't one size fits all. From phone features to calling plans, you get services that fit your life.
I also got voicemail.
You did? I want that.
Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile.
For cars that can benefit from higher octane,
Frank, we're late.
Texaco Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium are formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving. For smooth starts and sure acceleration, just give us 5 tanks, and we think you'll see a difference. A word of advice, though. Maybe you'd better leave the windows rolled up.
Add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
College baseball comes to Sports Channel Friday night at 7 o'clock. Georgia Tech takes on Florida State. See tomorrow's baseball stars today. Georgia Tech, Florida State. College baseball at its best Friday night at 7, exclusively on Sports Channel.
In this ballpark, you see a lot of conversations between pitching coaches and pitchers. It's not really a whole lot about pitching. It's almost being a psychologist trying to keep the pitcher mentally together in this ballpark.
I tell you what, Johnny Pod's not with the club, and this is one trip he probably won't miss. Mark Whitten checks. Did he check in time? He did upon appeal to Randy Marsh. Rockies lead 7-6 now. Whitten tonight has singled and walked, scoring a run. Caught by Castilla. A liner, but not a screaming one. Kind of a slow motion liner.
Whitten with the inside pitch, pulls it to third base. Castilla just takes one step to the backhand, makes the catch.
Very good third baseman. Don Baylor thought he should have won the Gold Glove last year. He did not. Here's Todd Zeile. Zeile is 1 for 2, a 2-run double for the Phillies. He also reached on a fielder's choice his second time up. He scored that time. Facing a left-hander here. 1-1. Zeile now trails Santiago for the club lead in RBIs by just 1 after his 2 tonight. 1 ball, 2 strikes. In the air to left field, way back. It is gone. Todd Zeile with a home run to tie it. We've got a 7-7 ball game. His 3rd home run, and now he is tied for the club lead in runs batted in. Phillies' 3rd home run of this ball game.
Well, Rockies have also been trying to pitch inside. Reed sets up, down and in, but Zeile gets hold of this one. Able to hit it to straightaway left field. Ellis Burke's back, takes a look, but thin air again. Carried it right on out of here. So Todd Zeile ties this ball game up at 7, and hey, we're in the 5th inning.
Long way to go. Santiago takes a strike. He's flied to center and walked and scored. So 3 homers for the Phillies. Score of this game should be 3-1 Phillies. Just count the home runs. Look out. Chin music for Santiago.
It's telling Benito with that open stance moves into the pitch, and this pitch off the inside part of the plate, Benny has to do a little of limbo to get out of the way.
Lance Painter with the 1-1 pitch. Off speed is high, 2 balls and a strike, and he doesn't like the baseball. Gets a different one.
Andy, I was telling Chris when the game started, I was looking at the thing in the paper today. Since this ballpark has opened, 2 teams combined have averaged 13.7 runs a game. So you have to score runs in this ballpark. Well, we're in the top of the 5th inning, and we've already made it.
We're over. Average is going to go up. Punch shot caught on the line by Weiss. He had an ice cream cone showing there. That was some play by Weiss.
Walt Weiss gets his feet set, gets airborne, and able to pick this one off as it was ticketed for left field. Shortstop defense. Outstanding by Walt Weiss right there, robbing Benito Santiago.
Here is Pete Incaviglia. He has struck out and hit a 3-run homer. Good night for Inky to be in there. He's a lifetime .400 hitter against the Rockies. Has hit 3 career home runs against them. We are now 7-7 in the 5th inning. Painter misses with a breaking ball. 2-0 on Incaviglia. Bergosi has Inky in the lineup against a right-hander to start. Winds up getting the bat off a left-hander after all. Ball 3, 3-0. Foul ball out of play. Painter, an interesting story. He was born in Bedford, England. Didn't become an American citizen until 1994. He now makes his home here in Colorado, in Lakewood, Colorado. Full count now on Inky. We've seen great strength from Incaviglia the opposite way. Jordan out on the on-deck circle. The short porch here is the right center field gap. 375 is the lowest number painted on the signs out there. Just still alive. It's 347 if you pull it dramatically down the left field line. It's 350 if you hit it down the right field line. Love this ballpark because it is irregular. You get that little hook out there in left center. We saw Dykstra go in there and catch a ball tonight. Deepest part of the yard. Breaking ball, ball 4. Inky walks. Painter hands out his second walk. Kevin Jordan coming up for the Phillies. He is grounded out and single tonight. Kevin, the first baseman, 1 for 2, and the Phillies are in a 7-7 tie. That single that Jordan got in the third inning, his first single of the year. He had all extra base hits until that point. You want to figure out homers per at bat. He's third in the league. High chopper. It's a foul ball. Jordan in the mix of those playing first base. Santiago another, and John Zuber another. It may turn out, as we take a look at Fry warming, that Jordan will get the majority of that playing time unless, look out, way inside, unless Jim Fregosi wants to get Lieberthal's bat in the lineup a lot. And that's when you play Santiago.
Yeah. Santiago plays first when Lieberthal catches. Keep Benito's bat in the lineup.
Pulled it as he got jammed, and it's a foul ball. Borland due up a batter after next, so that's why the Phillies have bullpen action here, even though there were 2 outs. Inky the runner at first, and now it's a 7-7 game. Lance Painter has been in since the third inning. In fact, statistical oddity is that both starters left after 2 2/3 tonight. Neither one could get the last out in the third inning. Out of play. Check swing foul. My question has always been, knowing the conditions here, is any front and shoulder free agent pitcher ever going to sign with this ball club?
No, and I don't think any real big name is going to. I mean, obviously Brett Saberhagen is signed with this ball club. He's going to play. He's on a disabled list right now. But no, if you got a chance to, and you're want to impress somebody with your numbers, this is not the place you're going to pitch.
Did he go around? He did. That's a strikeout. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. Todd Zeile hits a home run to tie it up, and so we've got a 7-7 ball game.
Prism is going batty with a great spring movie lineup. Val Kilmer teams with Chris O'Donnell to battle Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones in Batman Forever. Michael Keaton, the guy who used to be Batman, courts Gina Davis in Speechless. Kurt Russell, a guy who could have been Batman, takes off in Stargate. And Gary Oldman is Beethoven, a guy who could have written some cool Batman music in Immortal Beloved. Holy movie multiplex. Pick up your bat phone, call your cable company, and order Prism today.
It's a big, wide world. And America is quickly discovering there's room for more than one voice in music television. Open your eyes to Much Music, an alternative concept in music television. 24 hours a day, Much Music is all about music. Open your eyes to a more diverse and adventurous playlist coming to you from the out-of-control rooms of Much Music. Get in on the best-kept secret in music television, Much Music.
Call your local cable operator and ask for Much Music today.
Here, boss.
Bob?
Gentlemen?
Frankie?
Hi, fellas.
Hi, Lee. Do they really think they can pass as him?
No. People know the genuine article when they see it, like the genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. It has the information and choices that make shopping easier. 9 out of 10 use it. The genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages.
Hey, boys. Lost my way to Vegas.
Bell Atlantic, the heart of communication.
It's him.
Tote Bag Day, Sunday, May 12th. Phillies and the Braves at 1:35. Terrific white canvas tote bag with red pinstripes and the Phillies All-Star Game logo. Perfect carry-all for women 15 and over. Compliments of Medford Foods. The number for your tickets, 463-1000. Lance Painter stays in there. Nobody wants to use a pitcher any more than they have to, especially like now we're in a tie ball game. It's not like one side or the other is trying to catch up. Besides which, Painter knocked in 2 runs last time. You can't ask for any more than that.
Yeah, you can't take the hot bat out of the lineup.
That was Painter's 3rd at bat of the year. So that makes him a .333 hitter for the year. Painter then the top of the lineup. Walt Weiss, Eric Young. Ground ball foul. Here it's essential with the pitcher leading off. You must get him out to start the inning.
It's always important to get the first hitter out. Makes the inning much easier to negotiate, but especially when it's the pitcher, because if indeed the pitcher does get on, now you've got the top of the lineup coming up in the most dangerous part of the lineup.
Right back to Toby. He's up for the challenge. Bad throw to first. He bounced it over. They just kind of flipped it. But fortunately, Painter wasn't really running, so Kevin Jordan has time to smile about it. Great stop, bad throw.
We talk about this ballpark being able to ruin your concentration. Toby knows that once you make a play like this, you should take your time, but Toby just kind of short arms it and flips it over to first base. Jordan has to get down on his knees and block the ball. I think you're seeing the frustration of what Toby Borland has gone through in the last couple innings, and you really have to mentally be tough to pitch in this park.
Walt Weiss, the batter. Outside a ball. Weiss tonight has singled, lined out to left, and walked. He was the last batter faced by the starter Rich Hunter when he walked him there in the 3rd inning, becoming the 9th batter at the plate that inning, while Jim Fregosi went out and brought Toby into the ball game, and then struck out Eric Young. So Toby is just about to work his way through the lineup once around. 2 balls and a strike. Weiss draws a lot of walks. Has been so successful as the leadoff hitter, though even though Eric Young is back now, they don't want to change their lineup. Right at Jordan. Nice play. 2 outs. Trivia question, Teak. You ever seen a 1-2-3 inning here? The answer to that question is we have the day Terry Mulholland mowed him down. Remember that? Well, that wasn't here. That was
over Mile High. Yeah, that was the most amazing game I think I've ever seen pitched.
Same air, different ballpark.
Terry Mulholland pitching a complete game shutout at Mile High Stadium. Not one fly ball out to the outfield in the entire ball game. Unbelievable.
Well, we've not had a 1-2-3 inning tonight on either side of the ledger. Here's Eric Young 0 for 2 and hit by a pitch. He takes a strike. Toby Borland has a chance to write history here.
Well, Borland struck Young out the last time around on 3 straight breaking balls. Starts him off with a breaking ball for strike 1.
Young bunts, foul ball. That's one you got to let go foul. rather than trying to grab it in fair territory, especially the way Young runs. Now Toby ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes.
Young trying to bunt for a base hit, didn't have any success at all against Boren the last time. Toby comes over, and I'm sure he's getting some verbal help from Santiago saying, let it go foul. Got that cap pulled all the way down.
He chased, didn't he? Yes, he did. Strikeout for Toby. And a 1-2-3 inning at Coors Field in Denver. Yes, you've seen it, folks. 1-2-3. It's a 7-7 ball game after 5 innings.
Testing for your love.
Barry White, checking for love. The Love King. Can't get enough of your love, babe. I love you, man.
I love your style.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light.
I had it right in my hand. You saw it.
For cars that can benefit from higher octane, Texaco Clean System 3, Power Plus, and Power Premium gasolines are formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving. For smooth starts and sure acceleration. Just give us 5 tanks. And you may feel like you've left your old car behind.
Oh, add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
It's fast. It's convenient. It's courteous. It's easy. It's simple. It's hassle-free. It's practical. It's helpful. It's handy. It's the way thousands of smart people get their tickets to Phillies games. They just call 463-1000 to find out which seats are available. It's time to order tickets to any Phillies home game. Just call 463-1000.
Phillies baseball day camps for boys and girls 7 to 14 years of age. 17 great locations. Plus get a once-in-a-lifetime chance to enjoy a day of fun at Veterans Stadium. 5 different camp sessions the weeks of June 24th, July 22nd, 29th, August 5th, and 12th. For all the information at 610-446-3636. Now we go to the 6th inning. We have a 7-7 ball game. And Kevin Stocker leads it off for the Phillies. Hit his first home run tonight, but this time he bunts and it goes foul. Toby Borland's apparently going to stay in this ball game. Tinsley thinks he might get a call just in case. Maybe it depends on what Stocker does.
Yeah, a lot of it could depend on what Kevin Stocker does. Talking about you have to balance trying to score against trying to save some pitching.
Teak, I followed in your footsteps today. I went to the Lodo Rotary Club meeting today with my dear and good friend John Hickenlooper, famed downtown businessman. And John's stopping by our booth right now. He's from Wynwood, Pennsylvania, my hometown. And who do we run into but Rich Hunter, Philly's starting pitcher, along with his aunt, Karen McGoldrick, was with him today. And we ran into Frank Koppenbarger.
You must have had a regular reunion over there, didn't you?
Must have been in the right spot.
You were in the hot spot in Denver.
There we are. There's Hickenlooper in the background.
Yeah.
Wave to them at home, John. They're
there
watching.
We go.
They're watching you in Wynwood. Now this place, this is Lodo, and I got it. You know, Hickenlooper is the first guy to rehab a building down here. And then another guy did it, and another guy did it, and all of a sudden we got a ballpark here.
So he's a trendsetter.
He was. I mean, he took the oldest, most dilapidated building and got it going. And now we've got Lodo and Rotary clubs and Coors Field. Thanks, John. Stocker strikes out. Second strikeout for Painter. And Toby Borland is going to bat.
Painter goes with the off-speed pitch, the breaking ball, down and in. Talked about hitters have a tendency in this ballpark to lean out over the plate. Stocker swings over the top of that inside slider.
Toby up once before tonight, grounded out to shortstop. Chopping wood, huh, Teak?
He's swinging at what he thinks he's getting.
Now, I know you worked with him, but I want to clarify in what way you've worked with him.
I don't work on the offensive end of the game.
Okay, that's a blessing. Thank you.
Although he looks like he's been watching the videotapes.
I have seen that swing somewhere. 0-2 pitch to Toby. They refused to give him that one. The scoreboard did not ring that one up. That's a ball. Puts Wood on it. A play for Young. And Toby is out. 2 up and 2 down in the Phillies' 6th inning. And now up top for Lenny Dykstra, who has reached once tonight on a walk. Lenny is officially 0 for 2 in the game. Base is empty and 2 out for Dykstra.
So we haven't had a 1-2-3 inning all night long. Toby Borland does it in the bottom of the 5th. Now Lance Painter trying to duplicate in the top of the 6th.
And Toby helped. Lenny, as usual, will work Painter here. Takes ball 1. The only hit Painter has given up since coming in was the home run by Todd Zeile. That pitch missed. 2 balls, no strikes.
Lance Painter not happy with either one of those calls. Thought that first breaking ball caught the outside part of the plate. Thought this one was low enough to be in the strike zone.
But since we have a friend of Harry's back of the plate tonight, we won't say anything. Swing and a miss by Lenny. The young man, Brian Gibbons, doing a good job back there tonight. His daddy and Harry did Notre Dame games together. Jim Gibbons. And Jimbo's become a good friend of all of ours.
So we'll probably see Jimbo next time in Chicago.
I bet we will. A little bit high, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike to Lenny. Popped him up, but it's a foul ball. Reed thinks he has room. And he's right. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. And the Phillies go in turn here in the 6th inning. We go to the bottom half, and it's a 7-7 ball game.
So, you're a big Phillies fan. Think you've got everything you need? The cap, the t-shirt, the jacket, the pennant, the deluxe Dutch Dalton supersonic watch, the Kurt Schilling Arms of Steel videotape, the infamous blue hat. How about Prism? Prism has exclusive Phillies home games, primetime games you won't see anywhere else. Order Prism now, and you'll be ready for the entire Phillies season. Prism and the Phillies, the most fun you'll have all summer long.
It's made us the biggest, the best, the most successful. We've been in business for 10 years, and we believe it's because we have this ad in the book. If you're going to spend your advertising dollars, the best place to spend it is in the Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages.
You started the same year you decided.
The same day.
Oh my.
It's just twice as nice.
Twice as nice indeed. How are you? Thank you for coming.
Bell Atlantic, the heart of communication.
Pizza Hut, your triple deckeroni pizza. Shh, baby.
Whoa!
Wow! What a pizza!
New Pizza Hut Triple Deckeroni Pizza. 90 pepperoni pieces, 6 cheeses, 2 crusts, 1 hellacious taste.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by Bud Light, official sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Summer Games. Make it a Bud Light. Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile now offering great rates on cellular long distance. Your local Dodge dealers come in today because we know how to help. Heading for the bottom half of the 6th inning, we have a 7-7 tie. Dante Bichette to lead it off, and Toby still out there for the Phillies. Good news for Phillies fans. The Scranton Wilkes-Barre Red Barons won a doubleheader tonight. They won both games versus Toledo, and they did it on the road at Toledo, winning the first game 9-6. A home run for Gary Bennett, another one for Mike Benjamin, who's on a rehab. Here's a pop-up. There may be a play. And there is. Jordan catches the foul pop for the first out of the inning. Larry Walker coming up next. A save in that ball game for Ron Blazier. Then the second game, the Barons won by a 5-4 score, and Blazier saved that one too. Howard Battle went 2 for 3. Scranton now has won 3 straight in 4 of their last 6. Look at Toby Borland's line in this ball game as he faces a tough guy here. Walker has homered and knocked in a run on a single. Walker grounds a foul. The Reading Phillies won at home against Hardware City tonight. Reading Phillies winning that game 8-4. Dan Held had a home run, his second, and Chad McConnell had 2 runs batted in that ball game. That win snapped a 7-game losing streak for the Reading Phillies. No balls and 2 strikes on Walker.
Borland has had a lot of success this evening with that off-speed breaking ball, that big wide sweeping slider that he throws.
Walker swings and misses to strike out. Toby's 4th strikeout. No wonder Fergosi wants to keep him in there.
Talk about the slider. This is the harder of the 2 sliders. Just comes up to the plate and drops down low. Walker, thinking it's a fastball, swings over the top of it. Well, I thought it was a fastball, but it broke.
I swung like a fastball. The big cat, Andres Galarraga, he's 0 for 2 tonight with a walk and a run. Galarraga takes low for a ball. Rockies have out hit the Phillies 9-6, but we have a 7-7 tie. Toby's really performing, isn't he?
Yeah, he's using that breaking ball. And typical of hitters, they will go back to the dugout after a bat against somebody who's throwing a lot of breaking balls, and they'll go back and yell, "Challenge somebody." Now, meanwhile, if you throw them a fastball, they're just, jumping out of their shoes trying to swing at it. Toby's had a good breaking ball consistently tonight.
1-2 the count. Yeah, the object is to get him out the best way you can, right?
Keep the ball down.
Just a piece of it. You know, Don Baylor was the guy who really saved Galarraga's career when Baylor was the hitting coach of the Cardinals. The Cardinals had gotten Galarraga at a fire sale from the Expos because it looked like he had forgotten how to hit.
And Don Baylor then became the manager of the Rockies and convinced Bob Gebhardt to bring Galarraga over here. One of the first players that they acquired after starting the franchise.
Drive to the gap in left center. Home run for Galarraga. Rockies take an 8-7 lead, and Toby is unhappy with that pitch.
Well, these Rocky hitters just keep swinging hard, trying to get that breaking ball outside again. This one was a hanger. It stayed up and stayed on the inside part of the plate, did not break at all. And Andres Galarraga makes Toby Borland pay for the fact that that slider did not break down in a way. Oh, hung it. Oh, I threw so many good ones, and then I hung that one to him.
Ellis Burks pitches high a ball. Ellis tonight has tripled, singled, and struck out. So Rockies again reclaim the lead. Each team has had it tonight. Each team has lost it. Low, 2 balls and no strikes. And in the home run derby, the Phillies still lead. It's 3-2 Phils. Phillies homers tonight by Stocker, Incaviglia, and Zeal. The Rockies by Walker and Galarraga. Both the Rockies home runs were solos. 2 of the 3 were for the Phillies, but Incaviglia hit a 3-run homer. 3 balls and no strikes. Teak, is it tough to pitch to the next batter right after a ball leaves the yard?
Well, it's tough to keep your concentration. I mean, you get so frustrated. Now, that ball was pretty well hit by Galarraga. That ball was a line drive home run. But you get the ballpark frustrates you. You try to throw too hard. You try to throw too much. You try to throw too much on the corner. You try to do more than you're capable of doing. And you really have to be a disciplined pitcher and disciplined mentally to pitch in a ballpark like this. Steve Fry is up again in the Philly bullpen.
Burks takes a walk. Walk number 2 given up by Toby. May have Fry up to face Reed. Castilla's up next, and then Reed is due. Wright is sent to the mound again by Jim.
Trying to calm Borland down a little bit and give Steve Fry a little bit more time to get loose in the bullpen. He had just gotten up, although he was throwing earlier. Probably won't take him very long to get ready. I'm saying, hey, there isn't anything you can do about the ones that are already gone. Just get back in that good groove, keep the ball down where you were keeping it before, and let's get out of this thing.
The Big Cat has put his team on top again. That was home run number 6 for Galarraga. And it's 8-7 the Rockies, but we're still in the 6th inning. A long, long way to go in this ball game here at Coors Field.
You can bet that the scoring's not done in this ball game. Just important to keep the game close, keep your team within range.
Castilla tonight officially 1 for 1. Foul ball, but not by very much. Wow. He has a sacrifice fly RBI, a base hit for an RBI, and a walk. Burks running, of course. That ball was close to being fair. 1 strike on Castilla, who comes out of the Atlanta organization. He could never really crack their lineup, but he was ready to blossom somewhere. Toby fools him with that. No balls and 2 strikes.
Rockies as a ball club don't do a whole lot of running. Stolen 8 bases, been caught 4 times, but Ellis Burks over at first, one of the guys that does run a little bit. He's stolen a couple, been caught once. Burks with good speed, so with 2 outs and 2 strikes on Castilla, maybe thinking about running.
Castilla strikes out to end the inning. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. Rockies get a run on the homer by Galarraga, the only hit they had in the inning, and it is 8-7 Colorado.
It's here, Philadelphia, the only sports magazine show for the die-hard Philly fan, Broad and Patterson. It's the play, the hit, the save that keeps everyone talking. Plus, in-depth coverage of all your favorite teams, brought to you from the heart of Philadelphia's most famous sports intersection, Broad and Patterson. Take a look at the sports news the whole region will be talking about. Come to Broad and Patterson this month exclusively on Sports Channel, the home of your home teams.
Taste that won't fill you up or never let you down. Make it a Bud Light.
When I go round in circles, when they fly high like a bird up in the sky, when I go round in circles.
As winter turns into spring, this could be turning into your driveway. Lease a Nissan Altima GXE. No down payment, just $239 a month for 39 months. The Altima from Nissan.
Hey, all you hard-driving power tie, power lunch business persons, chill out. Warm up with the second of 5 melon PSFS business person specials. Wednesday, May 15th, when the Phillies play the Giants at 1:05. Call 463-1000 in your power voice.
Todd, thanks a lot. That's off the glove of Eric Young. Still has time. A wide throw, and Galarraga Galarraga stayed on the bag. Spectacular play by Galarraga. 1 out here in the 7th inning.
Todd just mentioned handcuffed as he's talking about Jason Bates. Well, Jason Bates' replacement at second base, Eric Young, handcuffed on this ground ball. Fortunately for Young, it bounces at his feet, and fortunately for Young, he has Andres Galarraga at first base to flag down that errant throw.
Yeah, Young has never been a real good defensive second baseman. He's in there for his offense, and Galarraga saved him there. Here's Witten, and Mark takes it over for a strike. Witten tonight is 1 for 2. He has scored a run. He got robbed last time. Castilla made a fine play on him on a line drive to third. Outside from Lance Painter. Both the relief pitchers have done a good job, Lance Painter and Toby Borland. As that appears to be Steve Reed getting up, right? The Under Armour. Team recognizes who that is right away. 2 balls and 1 strike now on Witten. 8-7 Rockies in a typical pitcher's duel here at Coors Field. We are in the 7th inning. Witten, the switch hitter. This pitch misses outside, and he gets ahead 3-1. Witten draws a lot of walks coming into the game. 3rd in the league with 17. Has 1 in this game as the Phillies get Russ Springer, the right-hander, Dave Leeper, the left-hander, up. 3-1 to Mark. Taps it foul, third base side. So a full count on Mark Witten. On deck is Todd Zeile, who's had a big game with 3 runs batted in, including a home run. They play him to pull, and they'll obviously play him deep. Here's the pitch on the way to Witten. He walked it. Ball 4. So Mark Witten, a 1-out base runner here in the 7th inning. Jim Fregosi with 2 left-handed hitters, 3 right-handed batters, and switch hitter Lee Tinsley on the bench. And now with Todd Zeile coming up, and the Rockies ahead by a run, here comes Don Baylor, and he'll probably want the side-arming Steve Reed to come into the game. And the gate is open out in the bullpen. The wave has already been made. There goes Lance Painter, who did a good job for Don Baylor. And the 3rd pitcher of the game will come on. It'll be Steve Reed as Painter leaves the ball game. Steve Reed comes on. Lance Painter leaves. And we have a 1-run game. We'll be right back after these messages.
Test. Testing for your love.
Barry White, checking for love. The Love King. Can't get enough of your love, babe. I love you, man.
I love your style.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
I had it right in my hand. You saw it.
Recently, the Tata Group went all blue by offering their employees health plans from Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
We decided to go all blue because we need insurance options to meet all of our employees' needs. Being able to avail ourselves of the several programs that the Blues offer was a big help to us. We could keep it in one place, lower our administrative costs, but give everyone the coverage they need.
Go all blue with Keystone Health Plan East, Personal Choice, and our traditional plan from Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield. The folks you can lean on.
I just got a promotion and a cellular phone. So my little brother got one too. Not that I'm competitive. I got the big calling plan. I got a local plan. My job's more focused.
At Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile, cellular service isn't one size fits all. From phone features to calling plans, you get services that fit your life.
I also got voicemail. You did? I want that.
Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile.
And welcome back. There's Lance Painter, who did a good job both pitching and with the bat as he knocked in a couple runs. He kept the Phillies to 1 run in the 3 2/3 innings that he was in the ball game, and he will now turn it over to Steve Reed. And Teak, you analyze this pitching delivery.
Well, this guy, he throws from the down under position, and he had a lot of trouble the last couple of years with left-handed hitters. Left-handed hitters beat on him pretty good. Now, he made an adjustment last year when they moved from Mile High Stadium over here to Coors Field. Had not so much to do with the field as it did with the fact that he decided he had to try something different for the left-handers. It was actually started against left-handed hitters to throw from a more of a three-quarter motion. Of course, when he goes up there, he doesn't have as good a sinker ball. He has, more of a fly ball pitcher, but he was having such bad luck with the left-handed hitters that he just decided, well, heck, I'm not getting them out this way. I'll try something else. But against Todd Zeile from the right side and Benito Santiago, the on-deck hitter, you can believe that he's going to be down and under. And he's very tough on right-handers, not only from the underhand motion, but also actually steps a little bit across himself, throws from the third base angle.
Is that one of the main problems as you look at Mike Munoz, the left-hander throwing? The main problems that a guy who throws like him has trouble with left-handed batters?
Well, yeah, because you're throwing number one from the side, and number two, even if you do like Reed does, and you step a little bit toward third base as you deliver it, you're just putting the ball much more out in front of the left-handed hitters. It's hard on the right-handers because it's coming from behind them, but it's much easier for the left-handers because they can see it so much better.
Those are really good numbers by Todd Zeile against this side-arming right-hander. The pitch to Todd is high ball one. The Phillies have had a lot of luck with Reed. In his career, Reed has pitched in 7 games against the Phillies, and his earned run average 15.75, and his record 0-1. Moves over to first, and back is Mark Whitten. Whitten tried to steal a base back in the 3rd inning and was gunned down by Jeff Reed. So we have a battery of Reeds here. Steve Reed on the mound, Jeff Reed behind the plate. And the 1-0 to Zeile is outside, 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes to Todd Zeile. With, as Teak mentioned, Benito Santiago waiting on deck. 2 balls and no strikes to Zeile. The pitch. A big sweeping breaking ball over for a strike for a count of 2-1. Reed is 30 years of age. He is 6'2", 212 pounds, born in Los Angeles. Originally signed by San Francisco and then taken in the expansion draft by the Rockies. Zeile had a good swing at that one and fouled it back, and it's 2-2. Zeile had a 2-run double in the 1st inning and then hit a solo home run in the 5th. That run in the 5th tied the game at 7. Galarraga homered in the 6th inning, and the Rockies lead at 8-7 here in the 7th. 15 runs and 16 hits in this one so far. Reed ready, and the pitch down to Galarraga. Good play by he pulls Weiss off the bag, and Whitten stopped, and now he's going to try for 3rd, and he's safe. And moving into 2nd is Todd Zeile. Wow, Galarraga threw that away. Mark Whitten stopped at 2nd, and then all of a sudden decided to go. And Burks had a shot at him, didn't get him.
All kinds of strange things happened on that play. See Mark Whitten dusting himself off. First of all, Galarraga does not get the ball out of his glove cleanly. See the double clutch, that throws his timing off on the throw to second base, throws it wide into left center field. Sudden Whitten thinks that Walt Weiss has got the ball, thought he caught it, realizes now that he doesn't, and really has to hustle to get over to third base. Just being able to belly flop in there right before the throw from Ellis Burks. So Galarraga double clutches, throws the ball away at 2nd, and then Whitten has to alertly hustle over to 3rd after he thought that the ball was caught in the infield.
Infield all the way in now as Santiago bats. Benito 0 for 2 tonight. He has walked and scored a run, and there you see his career numbers against Reed, and that's more like it for a right-handed batter. 0 for 12. Zeile had great numbers against Reed. The infield all the way in. Whitten at 3rd and Zeile at 2nd. Phillies trail it by a run here in the 7th. And off the glove of Reed, does not get that far away. It's 2-0. That was error number 1 in the ball game by the Rockies. The Phillies have committed 3 in the game. Mark Whitten at 3rd as Don Baylor just kind of looks down. As you know, you just play him a half inning at a time here. See what happens.
But the mistakes like the one Galarraga just made are the ones that'll kill you in this ballpark.
And that one's way outside, and it's a 3-ball no strike count on Santiago, who takes a look at Larry Boa to see if he gets a green light There's Pete Incaviglia waiting on deck. So Reed has what he wants here in this inning, all these right-handed batters. But Galarraga makes a rare error, only his second of the year, to get him in trouble. 3-0, and he swings and misses at a 3-0 breaking ball.
Santiago has the green light from Larry Boa. But Reed, even though it's 3 balls and no strikes, doesn't challenge him with the fastball, throws the breaking ball.
Really?
Of course, that decision was not made by Boa. It was made by that man right there, Jim Fregosi, to give him the green light.
Sure figured a 3-0 fastball there. Popped off the end of the bat as he swung at ball 4. That was a slider away. So Reed comes from 3-0 to get the 3-2. Santiago trying to make some contact here and get the Phillies back to even. Pick up a gift run. Reed was in 71 games last year. As Witten's the guy they're trying to get home. As the Rockies use his bullpen a lot. Here's the pitch to it. Jammed him, a little pop-up right to Galarraga. 2 outs. So Santiago was in the driver's seat at 3-0, and Reed gets him, and the runners stay right where they are.
Reed does a nice job of keeping Santiago off balance. Threw a couple breaking balls that he swung at looking for fastballs, and then this one, Santiago's finally convinced that it's going to be a breaking ball on 3-2. He runs the fastball in on his hands, breaks his bat, and we pop up to first. So now it's down to Pete Incaviglia and Steve Reed with 2 outs.
Yeah, that was a clear case of a guy diving into the pitch looking for something away and got jammed. Yep. And now, as Teak says, it's up to Incaviglia, and the Rockies can take the infield back, and the pitch is inside, ball 1. Another right-handed batter on deck, and Kevin Jordan. There are the infielders all the way back. Todd Zeile at second. Mark Whitten at third now with 2 outs. And Kevin Jordan, who has a hit tonight, waits on deck. Pete Incaviglia hit a monstrous home run in the 3rd inning to center field. A 3-run homer. He's also struck out and walked. Little tapper towards short. Weiss on the run, and he boots it. 1 run scores. Zeile took a big turn, and the Phillies have tied the game as the Rockies have misplayed a couple balls in this inning. Rockies a pretty good defensive team, but not in this inning. That's an error, the 2nd of the inning, and Incaviglia comes up hobbling at first base. And Incaviglia, who's been running so well and has been in such good shape, may have pulled a muscle.
Well, Incaviglia knows that he tops this ball in the infield. You see him grabbing the right hamstring right there. Tops the ball and knows that if he can beat it out, Phillies can get a run on the board. So he's going hard all the way. He doesn't know that Walt Weiss is going to do this and run right over the top of that ground ball. Just didn't keep the glove down and watch it into the glove.
And Zeile takes a big turn here at third, and a nice play by Young. Or Bo was thinking about running Zeile.
Yeah, Young is right on top of that ball. If that lays there very long at all, Zeile is going to try to score from second base.
Well, see, Fergosi's trying to talk to Incaviglia like, look, if you're hurt, you got to go get this thing iced up. And Incaviglia has talked both Fergosi and Mark Anderson into leaving him out there. So we're in an 8-8 game now as the Phillies pick up an unearned run in this inning and have runners at the corners with 2 outs for Kevin Jordan. Steve Reed has really come in and done the job, but his defense has betrayed him.
He has no help at all. He should be. I mean, he should have been back on the bench after the ground ball to Galarraga. That should have been an inning and double play, but not the case.
Here's the pitch to Kevin Jordan, over for a strike. 5 errors in the game, 3 by the Phillies, 2 by the Rockies. Outside with a slider, a ball and a strike. Kevin grounded to short, single to right, and then struck out in the 5th inning. Jordan playing at first base. The 3rd time he started at that position. There's a foul out of play off to our right. And we'll get down to Todd. Might be able to tell us something about Pete Incaviglia.
Yeah, I think they're a little worried about him. And right now, Lee Tinsley has the glove wheels. What they might do is a double switch because Toby Borland's pitched a lot. So they may look for a double switch and have Tinsley take over for Incaviglia and left. We'll have to wait and see how Pete is.
Yeah, I agree, Todd. I think he just talked himself into staying out there temporarily. Here's the 1-2 pitch now to Jordan, and he pulls off and fouls it out of play. You can see, Teak, you know, you did it for so many years. These right-handed hitters really have a tough time keeping that shoulder in.
Well, and especially on the slow breaking ball, because you know Reed has a pretty good hard fastball, a sinking fastball, and you have to be alert for that on the inside part of the plate. And then when that slow one comes up there, it just keeps breaking away and away and away from the right-handed hitters, and they have to kind of lunge and just get a piece of it.
1-2. Here we go again. Pop a foul again out of play. So Kevin Jordan hanging in there against Steve Reed. Phillies with a run into the inning. We're tied at 8, and runners are at the corners with 2 outs. It's the 7th. That's a base hit, center field. Kevin Jordan. Incaviglia is hauling around second. Here he comes to third, and he's out. It looked like he was going to make it. He wanted to show him, I guess, he could run, and he's out at third. But the Phillies take the lead on the base hit by Kevin Jordan. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. 2 runs in the inning, and the Phillies take the lead, and there'll be some changes.
I'm a Phillies fan. I have Prism. In fact, I've had Prism for 20 years. I've never missed a game. I love Prism. But I've been unfaithful because now I watch games on Sports Channel, too. What can I do?
Relax. Prism and Sports Channel are the perfect Phillies combination. Together, they give you the best Phillies coverage on cable TV. With Prism and Sports Channel, you got the season covered.
Yeah, I get it. Prism and Sports Channel, they're a team. Like Laurel and Hardy, like Batman and Robin, like Lennon and McCartney, like Romeo and Juliet, like Burns and Allen.
Just got a promotion and a cellular phone. Because my little brother got one too. Not that I'm competitive. I got the big calling plan. I got a local plan. My job's more focused.
At Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile, cellular service isn't one size fits all. From phone features to calling plans, you get services that fit your life.
I also got voicemail. You did? I want that.
Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile.
The story you're about to hear is true.
I went down to Orsini's Corner Market and bought 2 lottery tickets, $1,000 a week for life. Oh, and an iced tea and a pop. And went back home. I walked in and I called, Jennifer! She was cleaning or something. She came down and we scratched our tickets. When she scratched her ticket and got 3 life symbols, I went nuts. And I stayed cool.
Next time on Really Real Winners, a man from New Florence gets rich.
Is exercise important when trying to lose weight? Sure it is. Exercise works in part by speeding up the metabolic rate so calories are burned more quickly and efficiently. Moderate exercise can help dieters of all ages take off weight and keep it off.
Pete Incaviglia may have been trying to show Jim Fregosi that his legs were all right by going first to third on this base hit to center field. You see the throw just beats him. Tagged out at the bag at third. But it's a base running mistake by Incaviglia. Not very happy as the Phillies skipper. You do not make the first or third out of the inning at third base. And for the second time in the last week or so, Incaviglia has done it. And the skipper is not happy. Therefore, whether Inky was convinced him that his legs are good or not, Pete's out of the ball game.
Yeah, and he was going to come out anyway, as Todd reported from down in the dugout. And Lee Tinsley will come in. He will replace Incaviglia in left field, and he will bat ninth. And the new pitcher for the Phillies is the left-hander Steve Fry, and he will face left-handed batting catcher Jeff Reed. He's had a good ball game. Reed is 2 for 3 tonight as he fouls that one out of play.
As you mentioned, Gills, Fregosi probably would have made that same move anyway, but the Phillies go ahead late in the ball game. Usually you put Tinsley in for defense for Incaviglia anyway.
Trinidad Hubbard waits on deck. He'll be the pinch hitter. He's a right-handed batter. His pitch is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike now on Jeff Reed as the Phillies have taken a 9-8 lead here in this seesaw battle at Coors Field in the 7th inning with a 2 spot, scoring probably 2 unearned runs in that inning. Reed, fly ball left center field. Dykstra says he has it. Then he backpedals, puts it away, and that's the first out in the 7th. And Trinidad Hubbard, the pinch hitter, will come up.
Your attention. Now batting for the Rockies in place of the pitcher Reed.
Trinidad Hubbard, batting .250 on the year, and he's 3 for 9 as a pinch hitter, and has picked up 3 runs batted in as a pinch hitter. So Don Baylor doesn't have a whole lot of moves tonight because of the absence of one of his players, Jason Bates, and the big pitching staff he has. Will use one now in Trinidad Hubbard. And Steve Fry's pitch to him is over for a strike. On deck is switch hitter Walt Weiss. Hubbard also has a pinch double and a triple this year. There is Walt Weiss. Steve Fry's pitch is down a little bit low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Toby Borland did a good job for the Phillies behind Rich Hunter, and he is the pitcher of record right now. There's Hubbard, another one of these guys.
Got the mini Galarraga stance.
Yeah, wants to lift that leg and fire. And it's down and low, 2-1.
Hubbard, a 29-year-old outfielder, had a great year last year at AAA Colorado Springs and got himself a chance to get called up by the Rockies, took advantage of it. One of those guys that spent a lot of time in the minor leagues before finally making it to the big leagues.
3 balls and 1 strike on Hubbard. So Hubbard will look for a fastball to hit here. Phillies are getting the bullpen back up again. As Fry's 3-1 pitch to Hubbard is a line drive to right. Witten got a good jump on it, and it kept on going. And Mark Witten grabs it 2 outs as that ball was hit right on the nose.
Mark Witten shallowed up a little bit in right field against Hubbard. Hubbard hits the ball sharply, but Witten with a good jump off right away, able to catch the ball about belt high. See him as he's coming in there putting the second hand over the top of it.
Russ Springer and Joe Rigoli, the bullpen coach out there in the bullpen, as Walt Weiss will bat. Steve Fry on in his first inning, the Bucks County native, pitching behind Hunter and Borland. And Steve's first pitch to Weiss is over for a strike. Weiss is 1 for 3 in the ball game. He has singled and also walked. Weiss batting right-handed for the first time, swings and misses. Coming into the game as a .361 hitter left-handed and .267 from the right side. Weiss committing a key error in the top of this inning that allowed the go-ahead run to score. Fry ahead of him, 0-2. High chopper. Fry on it. Can he get him? Yeah, good play by Steve Fry. Bounced off the mound, waited for that baby to come down, and threw him out. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. Phillies lead it by 1.
Just make sure you stay in the chariot, Chuck. I guarantee you're going to win the dang race.
That's good.
True story.
You are so special. That chariot thing you did and the water stuff. I love you, man.
You're not getting my Bud Light. Frankly, son, you frighten me.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
And it's more like, I love you, man. See?
For cars that can benefit from higher octane...
Frank, we're late.
Texaco Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium are formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving. For smooth starts and sure acceleration. Just give us 5 tanks, and we think you'll see a difference. A word of advice, though. Maybe you'd better leave the windows rolled up.
Add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
When your car's brakes need repair, simply replacing a part makes no more sense than tuning one key on a piano. The whole system needs to work together. That's why Midas always begins a brake job with a complete system inspection. That way, the job's done right. And that's music to the ears.
Right now, at participating Midas Auto Systems Expert stores, you'll get 25% off brake shoes and pads, guaranteed for as long as you own your car.
Midas Auto Systems Experts. What can we do for you today?
Phillies baseball is brought to you by Bud Light, official sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Summer Games. Make it a Bud Light. Your Philadelphia Nissan dealer. Nissan, it's time to expect more from a car. And by Pico Energy, focusing our energies on you.
Phillies up by 1 on the Colorado Rockies as we head to the top of the 8th inning. Don't forget, we still need your help. Get on the internet, linksc@aol.com. Let us know who you think should be the star of this game. A lot of action in this ball game, a lot of runs, a lot of candidates.
Yeah, the star of the game may yet to be determined.
Yeah, he may be still in the waiting.
Here's the new pitcher, Mike Munoz, a left-hander. And there are the numbers on him. And what does he feature, T?
Well, he's got a fastball, slider, a changeup. And the pitch that he really likes a lot, especially the right-handed hitters, is a screwball. Off-speed breaking pitch, just kind of floats away from the right-handed hitters, gets a lot of them to nub the ball on the end of the bat.
Munoz against the Phillies in his career is 1-3 in 13 games with an earned run average of 8.38. We mentioned earlier Jim Eisenreich is kind of on the shelf right now. I don't know if they'll even use him or not. There's a strike called to Kevin Stocker. Stock is homered in the game, grounded out and struck out. Lee Tinsley now in the 9-hole waits on deck. He came in the double switch when Fry came in Cavilla's spot. And Munoz gets ahead of Stocker 0-2. Stocker, Tinsley, and then Dykstra to bat here in the 8th inning. Phillies 9, Rockies 8. Stocker takes a strike 3 call. He's out of there. And that's the first out here in the 8th inning as Munoz strikes out the first batter he faces. Here's Lee Tinsley will get his first at bat of the ball game. Tinsley batting at 192 and right-handed. He's had 2 at bats and he's 0 for 2. Darren Holmes with a big old overhand curveball starting to loosen up in the Rockies bullpen. They've used Leskanic 3 straight days, and there's some thought they might not use him tonight. Curtis Leskanic, who leads the league in saves, but we shall see.
And Darren Holmes, who's warming up now, is the guy that they thought when they came out of spring training would be the save or be the stopper, but he just wasn't effective early, and Leskanic took advantage of the opportunity.
Here's the pitch to Tinsley. A breaking ball over for a strike. 1-1 on Lee Tinsley. Mike Munoz is 30 years of age. He's from Southern California, now makes his home in South Lake, Texas. Tinsley takes it low and outside. He was originally signed by the Dodgers and then traded to Detroit and then signed by the Rockies as a minor league free agent in May of 1993. Pitched for Colorado in 93 and then 94 and 5. 2 balls and 1 strike. Strike called to Tinsley and the count even. .6'2", 192-pounder is this left-hander. Tinsley beats one foul first base side towards the Rockies dugout. 1 out and nobody on base in the 8th for the Phils, who lead it by 1. Been a crazy game. Phillies had a 6-1 lead, and then it was tied at 6, and since then back and forth, and nobody leading by more than a run. Inside with a fastball, 3-2. Tinsley trying to get on, and he can steal a base if you get him on. They walk. Isn't that ball 4? I thought
you
it
knew
was.
it. I knew it. Everybody but Tinsley knew it.
That's ball 4. We're trying to get him on base. Well, we'll be back at you again tomorrow from Coors Field. A little earlier start as the Phillies play these Rockies. Larry Rosen will have the pregame show at 2:30, and then the ball game at 3 o'clock. Sid Fernandez will pitch in that one for the Phillies against a young right-hander, 25-year-old Mark Thompson. Here's Lenny Dykstra, 0 for 3 with a walk. And inside with a fastball. Tinsley had kind of a one-way lead that time, was leaning back towards first as Munoz fooled him a little bit with his delivery.
A little bit of chink in the armor for Mike Munoz. You know, he talked about the screwball and how effective it is against the right-handed hitters. He's had some problems with left-handed hitters. You think usually left-handed pitchers, you know, should dominate left-handed hitters. Munoz has not been quite as effective because that screwball goes out of play then.
Right, you saw Lenny Dykstra's numbers there, 4 for 8 against him, a .500 batting average, and it almost appeared as if Lenny moved up in the box a little bit that time, trying to get that breaking stuff a little early.
Left-handed pitcher is very hesitant to throw the screwball to the left-handed hitters because it's, you know, breaking back into them, and it is an off-speed pitch, something they can pull. And of course, in this ballpark, you're always concerned about balls that hitters can pull.
And as you know, from trying to get left-handed hitters out, there are very few of them ever put on this earth that aren't low ball hitters.
They like the ball down
and in.
And in.
And it goes a long way.
Phillies with a 1-run lead right now could use one of those. At least one in the gap. 4 runs would be very much appreciated.
Strike call. You know that big Lee Thomas is sitting at home watching this baby, chewing his nails right now. Pretty good left-handed hitter. I asked him one time if that applied to him, if he was a typical low ball left-handed hitter. We know he was a power hitter. He'd love to see his team get a couple more runs here. Munoz, aware of Tinsley's ability to steal a base, keeps moving over there to keep Lee close. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Lenny Dykstra. Another left-handed batter, Mickey Morandini, on deck. Dykstra takes it low, and the count is 2-2. Mike Munoz last year for the Rockies in 64 games with a record of 2-4. He had 2 saves, an earned run average of 7+. Ooh. 3-2. You run him here?
Starting? Sure.
Okay.
Got the hole on the right side. Galarraga has to hold.
That's why I like doing this job, see, because I put that monkey on your back.
I'm starting.
Well,
the big hole. Dykstra with a good eye. Usually doesn't swing at bad pitches. Puts the bat on the ball.
All right. Tinsley goes, and Dykstra rips it right at Galarraga. Line drive, double play. Didn't matter if he was running or not. It would have been a double play. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Phil's still up by 1.
Ever fantasize about being a major league owner? Well, we do every week on Fantasy Baseball Weekly. Watch Fantasy Baseball Weekly for the inside information on weekly matchups, injury reports, trends, who's hot, who's not. Arm yourself with the best weapons the majors have to offer. Fantasy Baseball Weekly puts you in the owner's seat. Just watch it.
Fruits and vegetables. You know, you ought to eat more of them. Yeah, eating 5 servings a day is a great way to stay healthy. You'll feel better and you'll have energy, too. Yeah, that's what the people from the National Cancer Institute say. After all, you are what you eat.
It's fast. It's convenient. It's courteous. It's easy. It's simple. It's hassle-free. It's practical. It's helpful. It's handy. It's the way thousands of smart people get their tickets to Phillies games. They just call 463-1000 to find out which seats are available. It's time to order tickets to any Phillies home game. Just call 463-1000.
A new pitcher for the Phillies will be Russ Springer as he tries to hold on to that 1-run margin that the Phillies take here into the bottom of the 8th inning at Coors Field. Lots of offense in this one, some shaky defense. Typical game out here, always very entertaining. And Russ Springer will come on. Springer picked up his first National League win pitching an inning yesterday at the Vet in that business person special against the Pittsburgh Pirates. There are the numbers on Russ. Lots of strikeouts, 19 of them in 14 innings. So Jim Fregosi, with all these right-handed batters coming up, wants to go to the right-handed pitcher. Steve Fry did a good job in his 1 inning of work, retiring the Rockies in order. Eric Young, Dante Bichette right-handed, then Larry Walker left-handed, and then more right-handed hitters to come. See Young 0 for 3 tonight and was hit by a pitch in the first inning. Russ Springer. And the first pitch is high, ball 1. Springer has been in 4 lifetime games. Check that, 2 lifetime games against these Rockies. He has no record and an earned run average of zip. 3 1/3 innings and no earned runs. 1 ball and 1 strike on Young. Down the first base line and foul. Eric Young just back off the disabled list. They sent out Pedro Castellano when they activated him. There you see the outfielders deep. They're deep anyway.
And Dykstra swung around toward the right side against Young. Big gap in left center field.
Good way to play for him. He's going to swing late against a hard thrower like Springer. And the 1-2 on the way. Grounded towards second. Morandini, the ball really scooted. He has to hurry, and he got him. Boy, the infielders in this infield get a little jumpy, it seems. 1 out here in the 8th. You kind of talked about that early on. See, he's looking at Stocker, and Jesus is different.
Well, you're used to the ball after playing on the turf for so many games. The ball, takes that consistent hop and takes that consistent bounce up. But on this field, it gets on that dirt area, and the ball just kind of stays down a little bit more than it does on the turf. You have to really be conscious about keeping your glove down low.
Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. They appeared to be teasing each other. Then Stocker was telling him, why don't you use the
inside of the glove instead of the bottom of it.
Let it hit in the pocket. It's easier to catch it. Stocker said he's going to have some fun this year. Might as well have a sense of humor. The pitch to Bichette, a breaking ball lined in the left, a base hit. Really kept him in the park anyway. Tinsley gets it back in, and here comes a tough out in Larry Walker.
Well, Borland threw a lot of breaking balls to the right-handers and was successful. Springer does the same. Not a bad spot. Bichette hits it right out on the end of the bat, but gets it up over the infield for a base hit. But as you mentioned, even though he did get a base hit on that, that pitch down and away took a lot of the sting out of his bat.
And here's a guy with a lot of sting in his bat. 2 for 4 is Larry Walker, including a home run. And the pitch to him comes inside, ball 1. On deck is Galarraga. The Rockies get in this part of their lineup, they're so dangerous because they all can hit homers. Jammed him, popped it out of foul. Good, popped it out of play foul. Good fastball there by Russ Springer. Borland struck Walker out his last time up. Toby pitched well tonight. 3 1/3 innings, charged with 2 runs. Larry Walker with that open stance. Broke his bat, grounded to Morandini. He'll go to second, 1 back to first. Can't get Larry Walker, who can run. Not necessarily a double play ball, but they get the lead man and get Walker out. Break his bat, and there are 2 outs with Walker at first.
Well, the fact that the bat broke is what slowed this ball down just enough on the way it gets to Morandini to allow Walker to get to first base. See right here, Walker just getting to the bag before the return throw from Stocker. Had his bat not broken, I think that ball would have been sharp enough that the Phillies would have possibly had a chance for that double play. But the bat did not hold up. Walker's legs did, so he's on base, and Andres Galarraga gets 1 more swing.
Gets a big cheer as he homered his last time. The pitch from Springer is a foul off the mask of Santiago, who wants to check the equipment out. And now, I don't think Benny liked where that pitch was. The problem with this yard is, you normally think, well, let's stay away from everybody, but here it's reachable everywhere.
Yeah, it really is. And as we saw, even center field is reachable. Kevin Stocker going out in center field tonight. See Santiago on the inside part. Fastball tails in on Galarraga's hands. It's pretty much, I don't think Santiago was complaining about the location. It was right in the center of his glove. But now that they're ahead of Galarraga, now we're going to have a conversation at the mound. Kevin Stocker coming in.
Well, there's nobody on second base, so it obviously has nothing to do with signs. Fregosi got a little kick out of what they're doing. Stocker can see very clearly what they put down. Now Santiago just went over to the bench. They ask him about that. And he just says something to Morandini. Maybe he just wants to know, what are you going to throw to him here and what's the location going to be? And he comes inside with a fastball and misses. Todd Zeile guarding the line at third with 2 outs.
I think the conversation really had most to do with location. You see Stocker playing over in the hole, Morandini towards second. You want to know how your pitcher is going to pitch, set up defensively that way. It affects Stocker and Morandini as far as who's going to cover on a steal, how they're going to play defense.
Fastball, and it's fouled back. So the count 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs. All right, put yourself in their place right now. You know what Springer's best pitch, what it is, and what would you go after Galarraga with here?
Well, they've been throwing enough fastballs inside. It's time for that breaking ball away. Ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. You can throw it out of the strike zone. Galarraga will swing at that pitch out there. Take a look and see what Santiago has in mind.
He's thinking with you. He wants a breaking ball.
Breaking ball. Get it out of the strike zone, away for a ball.
There goes the base runner, and no contest. As he got it too far out of the strike zone for Galarraga to even chase. Larry Walker probably anticipating what you're thinking, Teak, that it's going to be a breaking ball, so he runs. Good cat and mouse game going on.
Well, it's the right pitch to throw to Galarraga. Now you've thrown him fastballs in, you've thrown him a breaking ball in the dirt away. You really have 2 options as Santiago goes out. We're not going to worry about signs on this one. Stocker now is going to join the conversation. This pitch will be determined before this conversation at the mound breaks up. And you can almost look at Santiago giving signs this time, and they may not mean anything. They may have already determined what pitch they're going to throw in the conversation. As I mentioned, we've thrown fastballs in, you've thrown breaking balls away. You can really go either way and not be wrong.
And a tough out on deck, and Ellis Burks. Bases open now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Phillies hanging to a 1-run lead here in the 8th inning. And Galarraga tires of waiting and steps out. Walker at second now with the stolen base, his first and second of the year, both of them tonight. There's the count. And the pitch is fouled away, a fastball out of play.
You wonder why so many conversations at this point in the ball game. Very critical for the Phillies right now. If you can get out of this inning and get past it without the Rockies scoring, you're going to be down toward the bottom part of their lineup in the 9th inning. And of course, Don Baylor with that short bench doesn't have a whole lot of options as far as what he can do. So very big advantage for the Phillies to get out of this inning scoreless.
Breaking ball, and he just got a piece of it. And that one nicked Santiago. And that one hurt Benny as he moves off away from home plate, goes down on both knees. And Jim Fregosi is concerned. Comes out. Santiago is really tough, but that one hurt.
It was the off-speed breaking ball. Not exactly sure where it caught Santiago, but it definitely must have got a pretty good piece of him. Take a look at it right here. The breaking ball from Springer. Galarraga just gets a piece of it. Looks like it might have got his arm and his thigh both. Might have went off of the forearm on the glove hand and then down into that left thigh.
In the old Charlie horse there, the old Carlos Caballo.
Take another look at it from this angle. Galarraga well out in front of it. Yeah, it does. It catches Santiago on the arm and the thigh. So that was a 2-bagger right there.
And he just did get a piece of it too. They almost fooled him. Good at bat here by Galarraga, which is what you would expect from this guy. Here we go again. Another breaking ball, top to third, and Stocker keeps it in the infield. Zeal couldn't get there, but Kevin Stocker did a good job of cutting that ball off in the hole. That's why he wanted to know about pitches and location so much. So the run is saved at least, and runners are at the corners now with 2 outs.
Well, it's Kevin Stocker's playing over in the hole because of what he learned earlier. A breaking ball gets by Zeal, but Stocker in short left field able to cut that ball off. With the depth that Tinsley has to play in left field, there's no doubt that Walker would have scored on it. So for the time being, at least, Kevin Stocker's play keeps this game knotted, or excuse me, keeps the Phillies ahead by 1 run. And now Ellis Burks is on.
Right, that's all that stuff we've been showing you about why he was so conscious of where the pitches were going to be. Cool. And here's another one. Ellis Burks. Pop up. It's playable. Stocker and Tinsley a mile up in the air. Stocker puts it away, and the Phillies dodge a bullet in the 8th. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. We're heading to the 9th. Still a 1-run game.
Testing for your love.
Barry White, checking for love, the love king. Can't get enough of your love, babe. I love you, man.
I love your style.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
I had it right in my hand. You saw it.
Recently, the Tata Group went all blue by offering their employees health plans from Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
We decided to go all blue because we need insurance options to meet all of our employees' needs. Being able to avail ourselves of the several programs that the Blues offer was a big help to us. We could keep it in one place, lower our administrative costs, but give everyone the coverage they need.
Go all blue with Keystone Health Plan East, Personal Choice, and our traditional plan from Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield, the folks you can lean on.
For cars that can benefit from higher octane, Texaco Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium were formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving, to give you smooth starts and sure acceleration. Just give us 5 tanks, and we think Power Plus and Power Premium will make quite an impression on you.
Add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
As the Phillies bat in the top of the 9th inning, Ricky Bottalico gets up and starts to throw as he'll be coming in the bottom of the 9th to try and save it for the Phillies, who have a 1-run lead and will try to get more, and they'll have to do it off Darren Holmes. Fastball and big overhand curveball. The guy that talked about earlier, Teak, that they thought would be their closer this year, but it's turned out to be Leskanic.
Yeah, it does, and you can see why. That earned run average of 8 for Holmes. Talk about his curveball. He has got, talk about a big curveball. He's got a big one. This thing starts out at your letters on your shirt and ends up down in the dirt when it gets to home plate. But he struggled a little bit early, and Leskanic got a chance to close some games out. He's been perfect so far, leading the league. So Darren Holmes is now the setup man for Curtis Leskanic, at least for the time being.
5th pitcher of the game used by Don Baylor, and Mickey Morandini will lead it off, followed by Mark Whitten and Todd Zeal. Up at 3rd is the 3rd baseman Castilla. 9-8 Phillies in the 9th inning. Holmes, like many relief pitchers, will work from the stretch. Where did that start? So many guys working from the stretch.
I think it started with Bruce Sutter. He was the first that I remember doing it, and he did it because he had some problems with his arm. And I've picked it up later on. I started out as a windup, but then went to the stretch.
Because so many relief pitchers do it now with nobody on base.
If you're not a power pitcher, why not? It's one motion. You can be much more consistent with your control that way. That's what I always thought was the best part of it.
Mickey ahead in the count 2-0, and now he's ahead 3-0. So the Phillies would love to get him on and get some insurance here.
Talk about Holmes' curveball. He also has a pretty good fastball to go along with it, right around the 90-mile-an-hour range.
Morandini tonight has walked twice, stolen a base, and grounded out twice. So Mickey 0 for 2, trying to get on base, maybe walk for the 3rd time in the ball game. And he does. He walks on 4 pitches. So Morandini is a leadoff base runner for Mark Whitten. Whitten has walked twice tonight. He's also singled and scored a couple runs. I look down at Larry Bowa. I don't think they bunt here necessarily with a 3-hole hitter to get to Zeal, you know, against a tough right-hander like this, but we'll see. Bowa just went through the signs. He does have the hole on the right side, does Witten, and he is not up there to bunt, and it's a ball high. Another reason being, why give up an out when this guy's so wild?
Well, yeah, you want to give him a chance to bury himself in the hole. I mean, he obviously, you know, behind Morandini and walks him right away, and now high to Witten. None of the pitches have really been just borderline. They've missed quite a bit, so probably take a strike if you're going to do anything. Give him a chance to dig the hole even deeper.
Witten with 2 lifetime hits against Darren Holmes, as you saw there, and one of them a home run. Stay tuned for Olympic Odyssey, which we will join in progress. That will follow tonight's ball game. 1 ball and no strikes on Mark Witten. And it's ball 2, 2-0. As Darren Holmes has not been able to find the strike zone with the first 6 pitches he's delivered. And now Frank Funk, the pitching coach, is headed to the mound for a conference with Holmes. They want to keep this to a 1-run game, even though it's Coors Field. It's always a lot better when you're at home and it's just 1 run. By the way, in the 9th inning, as Don Baylor looks on, Vinny Castilla, Jeff Reed, and then the pitcher spot due to bat. And they do have a tremendous pinch hitter available in John Vanderwall, a left-handed hitter.
Of course, Ricky Bottalico is the man who will be pitching for the Phillies when they go out for the bottom of the 9th inning.
There's Bottalico, not quite sure how to gear it up right now, because the Phillies are trying to get something going here. 2-0 to Witten. Takes it low. Ball 3, 3-0. And he will get a take from Larry Bowa.
One of the reasons why Holmes is struggling in his 9 innings of work, he's struck out 9 batters. That's good. He's walked 4. That's not, but he's given up 17 hits also. So a little bit tentative, and now ball 4 to Witten. So 8 straight balls. Phillies have their first 2 runners on and have not had to do anything at all to get them there. Just stand at the plate and let Darren Holmes throw some balls. And Holmes is out there by himself right now. No action at all in the Rockies bullpen. Nobody throwing. Nothing out there but the rosin bag.
Well, these guys use so many pitchers, and 7 in the ball game yesterday. Ritz walked 4. Painter walked 3. Munoz 1, and now Holmes 2. 10 walks in the ball game by Rockies pitching thus far.
Thank you very much.
And you see Todd Zeal's career numbers against Holmes. He throws all 9. And the crowd, they don't boo much out here, but they're getting a little restless here at Coors Field. You hear some boos. There it is.
A semi-standing ovation.
The automatic cheer, the old Bronx cheer.
If you ever want to get a cheer, throw 9 straight balls and then throw a strike and you'll get one.
One ball and 1 strike now. And Todd Zeal has had a good ball game. Scored 3 runs and knocked in 3. And this one comes in low. 2-1. Santiago waits on deck. Phillies leading by a run here in the 9th, trying for more. The Rockies have out hit them 12-7. Zeal, that could be a double play. To Weiss, back to Galarraga. It is a double play. That's a big 2-out pitch right there for Darren Holmes, who was all over the place. Morandini moves to 3rd. John Habian was starting to throw, and there he is in the bullpen, the right-hander. But now Holmes can see his way out of it after that double play. Was that a strike?
I was looking at the card. I didn't see it.
It was hard to tell. I mean, it looked like it may have been a strike. It was close. Santiago takes it low, ball 1. And Jim Eisenreich moves into the on-deck circle to bat for Springer. There's Eisenreich. Not playing because of a sore foot and a sore quad. Otherwise, he says he's getting close. 2-0.
So far this inning, Darren Holmes has only thrown 2 strikes. Very fortunate to be in the situation that he is right now with a man on third and 2 outs.
I don't know if that was a strike. 2-1. So Darren Holmes trying to work his way out of it after he walked the first 2 batters, and Zeal grounded into a double play, and now he's 2-1 on Santiago. Base hit center field. Scoring is Morandini. That's going to roll past Larry Walker. And Benito Santiago doubles in a big 9th inning run. Phillies lead it 10-8 on Santiago's 6th double of the year and his 16th run batted in.
You're always looking for more, especially in this ballpark. Santiago. Walker has to go deep into left center field and slide to catch the ball, but the damage is done. Morandini on third base. He's in. Think Benny's happy?
He points at Bo, his old buddy. Jim Eisenreich will pinch hit. There's a base open. We'll see if they walk him. As Mickey Morandini got his job done, he walked to begin the inning and scored, and they will walk Eisenreich. You know, Teak, that's the 2nd time tonight the Phillies have gotten a huge 2-out hit. Jordan got the other one after it appeared they were out of an inning.
Yeah, after they had something happen that would, take a real good inning and turn it into a potential nothing, and then all of a sudden they come up with the 2-out base hits, and nothing will lift you more and knock the other team down when they can see some light at the end of the tunnel, and all of a sudden you snatch it back away from them with one of those clutch base hits.
Right, Kevin Jordan got one. Pete Incaviglia's home run came with 2 outs. So that's actually 3 times it happened tonight that they got big hits with 2 outs. 11 walks by Don Baylor's staff tonight. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. A run in here in the 9th inning. 10-8 Phillies. And Kevin Jordan the batter. Jordan 2 for 4 tonight with an RBI single. Darren Holmes' pitch. A fastball high for a ball. Gets the curveball over for a strike. Italico continuing to throw for the Phillies, and Habian, a right-hander, for the Rockies. Fly ball left field. Back goes Burks. He has room right in front of the warning track. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. Phillies a run in the 9th on a hit. They lead 2. Ricky Italico coming in to try and nail it down.
Oh, yeah, I've been a Phillies fan my whole life, from the lefty to the wild thing, from Schmitty and the Bull to Dalton and the Dude. Win or lose, good or bad, I am there. Still sleep with my Phillies fanatic doll. It's just a little. Like all good Phillies fans, I watch Sports Channel. Sports Channel has great Phillies baseball. And with shows like Broad and Patterson, Sports Channel always gives me the inside scoop on Phillies' finest. So, yeah, I'm a Phillies fan. But let me ask you something. Were those Blue Caps really that bad?
Tired of the same old TV? Switch to Sports Channel. It's packed with action and sports of all kinds. Brought to you from around the region and the globe. All day, every day. Sports Channel has your hometown teams. Plus sports you want to see 24 hours a day. It's all the teams, all the time, always on Sports Channel.
Love is in the air, everywhere I look around.
This spring, love isn't only in the air, it's also on the ground. Lease a Nissan Maxima GXE. No down payment, just $299 a month for 38 months.
Love is in the air.
The Maxima from Nissan.
Love is in the air.
And a look at the Phillies bench as they take a 2-run lead into the bottom of the 9th inning. You see how the Rockies have out-hit them, but some misplays by Colorado in some key situations and a lot of walks. 11 of them have hurt the Rockies tonight.
Okay, well, we're starting to close down toward the end of this thing, folks, so hop on the internet and give us your vote right now. We're going to need it real quick. LinkSC@AOL.com. Tell us who the star of the game should be tonight. Only one that's left to make a contribution from the Philly side is this guy right here, Ricky Bottalico.
There are the numbers on Bottalico. Those 5 saves and 5 save opportunities. He's tied for second in the league with that category. The league leader is Curtis Leskanik from right here in Denver. So if Ricky Bottalico could put this one away, he would tie for the league lead. There you see what he's done so far. He will face Vinny Castilla, right-handed batter, Jeff Reed, left-handed, and then we figure John Vanderwall, another left-handed batter. And Castillo takes the first pitch down low for a ball.
And Wheels, how big is that run that the Phillies scored in the top of the 9th? Well, if they had not scored that run, every batter that comes to the plate in this ballpark is a potential tying run. Now the Rockies need to get a base runner before the tying run gets to the plate.
And Castilla swings and flies to right field. Mark Whitten is under it, the wind blowing it away from him, and Whitten runs it down. And there's one out, and I still don't understand how you don't take a pitch until you get a strike when you're down by 2 runs.
You're asking me for an explanation? No. You have to take a strike.
Because as you just said, I mean, that's not the tying run.
Nope. You've got to get on base so that the tying run, the next guy can hit the ball out of the ballpark and tie the game.
Well, here's Jeff Reed. Has a couple of hits tonight and an RBI, and John Vanderwall does move into the on-deck circle to bat. And Reed swings at the first pitch he sees, grounds it to Zeal, throws him out, 2 up and 2 down.
Thank you very much.
I don't understand that. But the Phillies will take it.
Well, we mentioned the last inning being so key when Springer was able to get out of it without giving up the run. Now the Rockies at the bottom part of their lineup, not the power-laden part of their lineup, so more difficult for them to get one guy on and then hit one of those long balls.
Right, and here comes Vanderwall, who set a pitch hit record last year with 28 pinch hits, breaking Jose Morales' record set in '76 with Montreal. John Vanderwall, originally with the Expos. And this pitch from Bottalico comes inside for a ball.
Vanderwall had 28 pinch hits last year. Only 2 for 11 as a pinch hitter this year, hitting 167 on the season overall.
Walt Weiss on deck. The pitch to Vanderwall. Ground ball, base hit, left field, in the hole. They're playing him up the middle. So Vanderwall, the pinch hitting magician, gets a base hit. His 3rd of the year, and Weiss will come up. Ain't over till it's over in this place. Phillies clinging to that 2-run lead. And Weiss, the batter.
Vanderwall not taking a strike either. He's swinging at the first strike.
Weiss tonight is 1 for 4 with a walk, and Weiss takes a lot of pitches. On deck is Eric Young, a right-handed batter. And then Bichette. You don't want to get to Bichette. Weiss a swing and a miss. Kevin Jordan is playing off the runner at first, Vanderwall, because that run doesn't mean anything. He's also guarding the line, as you see the first baseman. Todd Zeal off the line a little bit at third and on the grass. And there's the Phillies defense playing him an opposite field hitter in the outfield. The pitch to Weiss. High, 1-1.
On any base hit right now, the most important thing for the Phillies to remember is keep Walt Weiss off of second base. You don't care where Vanderwall goes. You don't care if he scores. Don't let Walt Weiss get into scoring position now with 2 outs.
Foul that one off his foot, even though it rolls out to Zeal, so it's 1-2 on Weiss. Right. As an outfielder, even though they're so deep, they have to think about throwing the ball to second.
Right. Even if Weiss would hit a screaming one-hopper to any of the outfielders, and they've got Vanderwall by 40 feet at third base. Ouch.
Off his right shin.
Well, that'll eliminate infield base hits. But if you've got Vanderwall by 40 feet at third base, you still throw the ball to second base.
Yep. Keep that tying run off second and keep that force in order. High and outside, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Phillies with a 2-run lead, and the Rockies with a runner at first base in the bottom of the 9th inning. Three and 2. So off on the pitch will be Vanderwall. And Walt Weiss trying to get on base. There is Vanderwall, who will be off and running. He walked him. And that'll bring up Eric Young. A right-handed batter, 0 for 4, has been hit by a pitch. He just looks out. It's up to Metallico. Santiago goes out to try and calm him down. 2 outs and nobody on base, then a base hit and a walk.
Of course, the guy that you do not want to see come to the plate in this game, for sure, is the guy on deck, Dante Bichette.
That's what we're talking about. Try not to get to him if at all possible. Everybody real deep in the outfield. The pitch to Young. Fly ball right field. Witten is there. He grabs it. And another ho-hummer here at Coors Field as the Phillies escape with a 10-8 win in a very, very entertaining evening here in Denver, Colorado. Todd Zeile, a big game with a home run. Benito Santiago knocking in an extra run in the 9th inning. A lot of heroes in this one. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. In the 9th, no runs a hit, no errors, 2 left. Back with a wrap right after this.